Hello everyone, and welcome to Stories to D4. I'm your Dungeon Master Matthew, and I'm really excited to have you back here at the table tonight. We'll be starting with tonight's session in just a few minutes, but before we do that, we're going to have a couple of announcements, a recap of our story so far, and just a reintroduction to some of our friends here at the table. Just so everyone knows, we are down 2 of our cast tonight, both Amanda and Alex. Amanda, of course, playing our dear dwarfy darling Gwynwyn, and Alex, our man in the chair behind the scenes. They're both out tonight, so we do wish that they're having a great time and that everything is going fine. Just a couple of, like I said, couple of brief announcements. First, we are a breath away from 400 over on our Twitter. So if you're not following us on Twitter, get on that. It's free. We love giving you free things. Like our Discord, which you can still join by hitting the link below wherever you're viewing this. When it comes to announcements, let me actually open this up just to everybody here.
On the Discord
I have to
thing
sit up
too.
straight now.
On the Discord thing.
Yeah, if you are a subscriber to our channel, you can link your Discord account and your Twitch account together just like you can for other platforms like Origin and Steam and the League of Legends launcher. So you can link your Discord account, your Discord account, your Twitch account, so that you can get access to our Storytellers Lounge on the Discord, where you can see some behind the scenes stuff, maybe talk to us a little bit more about mechanics and things going on with the characters.
Mechanics.
And starting relatively soon, and I haven't told everyone about this, I'm going to be starting to put some of these excerpts from the Magus class that Alilia is playing over on our Storytellers Lounge. So if you want to get some behind the scenes of how that's working before we eventually release that publicly, you'll really want to go ahead, and if you're a subscriber on Twitch, or if you're one of our patrons over on Patreon, you can click those links, connect your accounts, and join us in the lounge for some secrets. Hi everybody!
Hi.
Oh,
Great.
it's Amanda.
Oh, hi Amanda!
I don't really.
Amanda, you look different.
There's still hair, but there's not that much hair.
It's different color too.
Yeah.
Really wild shift over there.
I didn't know it was that hairy.
Amanda picked up a level in Druid.
That's one wild shape. Oh, I'm sorry.
That was
sorry.
rough.
I don't like this conversation anymore.
Yeah, let's move on.
I regret everything.
Now, tonight is special because we have a couple of folks that I've been talking to and who we've encountered online who are excited to be joining us on our adventure. So we wanted to do a little bit more of a recap than we normally do. We'll be brief, but we'd love to bring you up to speed so you can jump right into the adventure tonight. Did you have something before? Oh, of course. Before we talk about our recap,
Oh, okay.
we're going to do 2 things. First, I'm going to go around the table and just reintroduce our cast. You're going to tell us who you are, who you play, and if you feel like insulting your dungeon master, go for it. We'll go around that way. Sounds fine, Connor. And once we finish that, we're going to go to our crit corner, which we do each week, just to see who rolled really well and who is a natural 1. All right, we're going to start here.
I prefer natural
You're
win.
first.
You're first.
I'm first.
You are first. Who are you? Why are you here? How did you get in my house?
Those are some tough questions. I'm Clella. I play Alilia Arendral, a half-quarter elf magus. I will always correct everyone.
Yes, I actually like it. And Magus, as we talked about, is a homebrew class we've worked on together.
Yes.
Tell me something about Elle. What is something that jumps out at you about her?
Elle recently got an outfit change, and so now it's summer. It's going to be spring soon, so it's now obviously guns out with the sun's out. So
Is it
You
cropped?
didn't have quite enough hair to do a dramatic cutting off your hair.
no,
So
I
this
didn't
is-
do like a moment in the woods with like a knife. No.
Hey, there's always time.
You
I
didn't pull
mean-
like a Mulan, like.
You could
course.
get
Inspiration.
extensions.
And then cut them off?
cut them off.
Seems pricey, but the drama might
The
be
drama.
worth it. Yeah.
Sure.
Well, let's continue around the table to keep things moving. Who are you? Why are you here?
I am Victoria, playing as Meanie Callister, a human abjuration wizard, and my primary goal in life is to make sure Elle does not die.
I'm making that very tough.
You're
Lofty.
making it very tough for me.
It would be really great if you could just
Put her in a
go
bubble.
sit in a noblewoman's court.
Yeah, get in a bubble for me, please.
Who gets to swing a sword around there?
Globe of Invulnerability.
Has anyone seen Misery? Because that's one suggestion to stop elves from dying.
Actually,
Honestly, that's
one of the few thoughts that I've had about ways to corral L has been basically the plot of Misery.
Corel L.
I think.
Yeah, you said that out loud, actually.
You also said there was some Nancy Kerrigan mentioned.
We also should welcome both Amanda and Alex over in the chat. We're glad y'all are here. And we also have an Amanda proxy for the evening if needed. Jake, I really appreciate you sharing a space with, we're going to call, let's say, new and improved Amanda.
It's because we're really close.
You know, speaking of Jake, and I mean only Jake, why don't you introduce yourself? We'll leave that other one out for now.
Well, hello. My name is Jake. I've been playing the character Silas. He's an elephant kind of thing. Loxodon? Loxodon.
Loxodon.
No.
I know you know that. You say Loxodon every day.
Oh, I know. It's you do your Loxodo's and your Loxodon'ts. I regret everything. But no, it's just I'm not entirely sure how I got wrapped up in this adventure, but I made some really good friends, and that's the important part to me.
Well, we're stronger for having you. And last, we have this man over here. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Connor. I play Laurentius Thorn. He's a Sorlock, which is a Sorcerer Warlock multi-class.
Okay.
He's got some little weird stuff going on.
Got some quirks.
Yeah, some
He
quirks.
keeps hitting rocks or something.
Yeah.
Stop eating rocks, Connor.
He's got
The
pica.
rocks
It's
have
fine.
actually made him turn purple, which is frightening, to say the least.
Once again, that is offensive. More elven microaggressions against the
Hey.
drow.
We're both elven.
Yeah.
All right.
Like for like, tit for tat.
With
We're
that,
gonna move on.
we're going to jump into a quick recap of our story so far, as we sort of ended off a couple of sessions ago, facing off against one
Not
of our
to
major
cut you
BBs.
off, but we got the crit corner.
I always cut the crit corner.
It's okay.
If we don't
I need
get
to
the
quit cutting crit corner.
Can
You
say
just
that
need to
5
stop
times fast?
cutting the corners. Oh, that was more you.
No.
Yeah.
That's up your
Hurtful.
alley.
That was a
Yeah.
Jake joke.
That was a
fully.
Jake joke, yeah.
After doing Loxodo's and
It
Loxodon'ts,
tasted
you're
bad
comfortable
too as it
with
came out. I didn't like it.
All right, Connor, tell me more about how I messed up again.
What are we starting with? Ones? 20s?
Ones.
Once.
Start on a
Yeah,
high?
bad news first.
Oh, start on a low, okay.
Natural
Bad news
oneers.
first. Okay, Silas and his meanie both had 1 natural 1 last session. We had Elle, who takes the cake and wins that one. She had 3.
It's a lot.
Nice.
It looks like almost everyone except Elle rolled a natural 20 last session, including the DM. DM had 2. Ismini had 2. Silas had 2. Gwynwyn had 1, and I had 1 as Thorn. So it's a 3-way tie for last session on natural 20s.
All right.
Nice.
But Elle, you get the win on the ones.
I want a dunce hat for this, by the way.
Yeah, we should.
Oh,
We get a little
wait,
thing we
time
pass
out.
around.
Didn't Gwenny get a natural 1 that resulted in a 0? Because I distinctly
You are
remember
correct, actually.
using a
Yeah.
bicycle.
Cause
You're right.
You
I
did
have it
make
written
sure-
down.
Lowest
Yeah.
roll.
And I did put the note in thanks to Jake, actually, as the
All right.
0.
Best use of the bicycle ever.
Yeah.
Well, I've been having a wonderful time playing with you all these past few months in this Eltzian campaign. Let's do a quick recap of what's been going on and start our adventure tonight. Several months ago, our group of adventurers, for one reason or another, made their way to the border of the city-state known as Eltz. They converged in a location known as Coppersbeck, a small city located on the outer wall of the territory. Some of them had come looking for fame, others for fortune, and even others still just trying to find ways to reunite with their past. Taking on an initial contract, the group began to grow closer, eventually becoming close friends with a man named Oswald Cappleberry. Unfortunately, tragedy struck as a killer who is yet to be discovered struck down Oswald, uniting the party in their goal of avenging their friend. Over the months, they traveled to Walnut Hill and Galavon, two more Eltzian villages where they learned more about some of the problems that had been going on, including a necromancer who had been raising some unfortunate souls back from the dead, attempting to create a powerful army. Eventually, the party made their way to Eltz, the capital and the most prosperous area in all the region. Our heroes met masked vigilantes who worked with them on various adventures and even a heist. our heroes faced off against some strange creatures and eventually joined a guild known as the Defiant Smiles. This mercenary band has worked to hunt strange monsters, protect the city, but without our party, it only really had one active member. With that heist, with those vigilantes, you all stole an item known as the Velvet Vulpine. This small statuette of power, otherwise known as a statuette of stillness and serenity, was not just a magical tool to be displayed by a wealthy nobleman, but originally owned by a collection of Goliaths located to the north in the Murloc Mountains. The reason for you all to take this was pretty simple. You all wanted to track down Zerathal, the necromancer who had been plaguing the area for quite some time. And this statuette contained within it the ability to track down, casting magical divination magics to track down places and people. You used the artifact to track down Zerathal's tower, conquering the demons, undead, and even petty goons who were located inside, and eventually faced off against Zerathal at the zenith of his tower. It was a hard-fought battle, and some revelations were had as to Zerathal's motivations, but in the end, it seemed that he was a bit touched in the head, and you all slew him. Escaping from the tower and hiding away for a while, you got a bit of downtime, practicing and refining various skills, and preparing for a trip out of the city for the first time in quite a few months. You all have prepared supplies and your cart for travel to head north to the Murloc Mountains and return the Vulpine back to its people rather than bring it back to a nobleman who surely got it through some ill-gotten method. Let me go ahead and bring us all back. Hey guys!
Back again.
We're going to start our session tonight within the warehouse that you all live in, within your home that you've been paying for and refining over the past several months. Here you have your small stable just outside, a large outer wall that you've fully repaired, a little dock for fishing that has been, a small pier rather I should say, that has been set up just on the outside. And you all, it's relatively early in the day. Some of you maybe have woken up early, others may still be expecting their wake-up call. I'll leave that all to you. For those of you who are awake, you can just begin to smell just a little hint of something burning, and then the nice spicy smell of Yosef has been making this it's, I don't want to call it gruel because it's a little cruel, but it's this very spiced sort of morning porridge that he makes. He doesn't have a good word for it, but it's something that he's refined over the years. So maybe this is a pleasant way of waking up in the morning. But today is the day. You know that the Murloc Mountains are supposed to be quite icy over the winter, and so you've waited until spring is actually here to begin your journey. Why don't you all start telling me what you are up to? Is anyone awake at this point?
I'm already sweating.
I'd say so.
You know that.
Yeah.
I do my daily 5K in the morning, so
All of us are pretty responsible.
Oh, of course.
I'm like sweaty. I'm like doing post-workout stretches.
I'm hovering over Yosef like, you should add cardamom.
Oh, I'm sorry, what? Cardamom?
What?
Okay.
Cardamom?
I'm going to go to the market and I'm going to get you some spices for your morning.
Joseph's like, it's not Mother's Day yet.
I've got all the peppers, what do we need the cardamom for?
He has peppers?
Oh, those spicy peppers.
In porridge. How long have you been making
It's spiced porridge.
I was thinking of a different kind of spiced porridge. I was like, let's go like some warm,
Oh,
wintry flavor.
apologies. Miss Granfield said she really liked my recipe.
That explains it.
Jalapeno oatmeal.
Yes, you've accurately described what this is. This is
Roasting some poblanos for breakfast.
Avoiding the
He actually
porridge.
Avoid-
It's good
I'm-
if you had cheese.
I'm going to go prep Tenebris for the trek into the mountains. So I'm gonna brush him down, make sure he's nice and clean, check his hooves.
So I was reflecting over our last few weeks. And I was thinking a lot about the fact that we found notes about a shipment of corpses from O'Brien. And maybe, perhaps, we should have thought about that in the interim.
We could just let Christine Cooper know and give her some evidence, and I'm sure she could publish a follow-up to her famed expose.
Who's
Oh, you know what?
O'Brien
That's
again?
actually fair. Actually, a really good idea.
Which
I don't
one's
want to
the
go
O'Brien
with it.
again?
Maybe we can even.
Brian Steele.
Yeah.
Brian Steele.
So
Oh,
when we come back, we'll give it to.
We can do a quick reminder on that.
Well, actually, I don't think Silas ever met O'Brien.
You didn't meet him. We
You literally saved
You saved
Noah
his life.
O'Brien's life.
Yeah,
I didn't know who it was, though.
You saved his life, unfortunately.
It seems like he may or may not have potentially been involved in the transport of corpses to a necromancer.
Aren't
See,
we
the
all,
guy
though?
that runs a company town might be shady. Who
Silverbacks.
knows?
Kalila has not forgiven Noah O'Brien from the moment I used the word company town
Or silverbacks.
or silverbacks. Well, Ililie, you're out on your run in this morning, finishing things up, passing through the West Gate area, heading back home. You see a familiar face kind of walking the streets in the morning. He's got what looks to be a small bundle. It's got looks to be a couple of fresh breads and a bit of just some food from the market that he's picked up. You see shining in the morning light, his big old bald head, beaming smile. Don looks over. Oh, Elle,
Hey.
do I have it right? You're heading out. Y'all are heading out today?
Yeah, we are leaving today. Wait, did we make plans? Did I forget?
No, I wanted to send you off.
Oh, okay. Sorry to laughing at the voice. That's very sweet of you.
Would it be all right if I join you for the rest of your run?
Oh,
Are you on
yeah.
your way back?
Do you want to race?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, in that case, I would like you to go ahead and give me. This is going to be an athletics check for both of these characters.
I'm really hoping.
Now, you've been doing this morning run for a while. I'm going to give you advantage, Ililie, on this.
He's carrying bread.
It's only 2 because it's not an attack roll, and it's not with Dex. I saw some excitement. So as you he begins jogging
I
alongside
don't know
you.
which one of us is more athletic. Could go either way.
He's jogging alongside you. He's got his armor on, but also, he's fresh. You're coming the end of your morning run. We're gonna start with our player, Ililie.
It's going to be a 26.
A 26. You are booking it. You're pushing yourself harder this morning, I think, than you normally do.
Oh, we're racing.
You're racing. You're running through the streets, and you've been doing this for a while. You got your new outfit. Your burns from what happened at the tower are still exposed here, but you're confident going through the streets. How did Adon do?
24.
Adon, surprisingly agile on his feet this morning, but unfortunately, that on top of his lower movement speed, you are able to, as you pass on your way down Pirewood Row, he starts losing you, and by the time you hit the barrows, he's a solid. You can turn around. You're seeing he's taking the turns quite a few seconds after you.
It's the bread.
Oh.
How much did that bread cost you?
Nice. I can get more.
No, I just want to know how much it cost.
Oh.
I've been tracking the price.
Oh. Yeah. You've been learning how everyone else lives.
Yeah.
Adon sets this small pouch down on the ground. I say small pouch. It's kind of it's a small leather sack. It has a rope tie that can be, if you pull it tight, you can throw over your shoulder. But he has it just tucked under. The loaf of bread he has here is worth approximately 3 copper pieces.
Nice. I would
Nice.
write that down.
Yeah, it's relatively large. It's not very fancy. It's just a nice big loaf of bread.
I want bread now.
I know.
So mad.
Yeah, you're welcome for that. There's a bottle of olive oil inside. Oh,
Don't you dare.
olive oil in the pan.
Oh my gosh.
I say that now when I cook.
But the two of you making your way back, you can see Laurentius standing just inside the courtyard.
I'll since he's very sweaty, I'm like my normal amount of sweaty. I prestidigitate him, so he's cleaned up a little bit.
Thanks, Elle.
I mean, it's not as good as like deodorant, but like it works.
Oh, he kind of looks over and sniffs under his face like, I mean, he reaches over and shows you. There's a small pouch he has in his breast pocket on the inside. It's got like mint and a couple of these like herbs that he uses just to smell a little bit better.
Smart.
You walk around with potpourri. I'm not there, but that's where I just.
That's right.
Yeah, I mean,
If Ismini was here, she'd ask. You walk around.
we do a lot of dirty work sometime, but it's nice to just smell nice.
We've been in so many sewers.
I would like to not go in sewers for a while.
Me too. This entire time, and yet we end up in sewers like every other session.
So, before we talk to everyone, I wanted to get your opinion, actually, on something.
Guess you should tell her that you like her.
He looks at you, kind of tilts his head, confused. I was gonna say, while you all are out, I was actually thinking about starting to do some recruitment for the Smiles. I figure we've got some more experience under our belt. You guys are wonderful to work with. Maybe I could, talk with some folks and get some more people working with the Smiles.
That would be great. I mean, we want the Smiles to get bigger, for sure.
And I think I remember Thorn said something about Silas telling everyone about the Smiles, so word of mouth.
Our address, and our literal address.
You hear Thorn's eyes roll.
Silas, you sneeze.
Remind me to at least punch him a little bit for that.
Publicity.
If our
gotta mark it.
warehouse gets burned down, it's Silas's fault.
While you're gone, I don't want to impose, but if you want, I could check by the warehouse every once in a while. I know Yosef's gonna be here, but...
Actually, I have a tree I'm going to plant in the courtyard. If you could check on it and water it, I would really, really appreciate it. I'll owe you one.
Yeah, not a problem.
Yes. I watched Yosef kill 2 plants already. I don't trust him with a big tree.
Over on the far side. Oh, someone's talking about me.
It's pollen season.
Oh, I hate pollen.
But yeah, with that, there's breakfast if you want some,
All right.
or I assume so.
Thorn is like,
Hey, Yosef. do you need anything else to do?
Oh, what do you need me to do, Mom?
Let's go talk about the length of the grass.
Oh, all right.
I'm just gonna steer him away from cooking.
Is your passive perception above 16, Victoria?
My passive is 15.
I'll let you know, but you step out of the room for a bit, heading off. Silas, maybe you're getting up in the morning. Adon is outside helping hitch 2 of the Merlin and Rada, the 2 other horses, to the actual cart. Carlin needs 2 horses to be pulled,
Yeah.
so you could actually just ride your horse if you'd like to.
for sure.
And Adon's helping you just get everything, getting everyone saddled and reined in. Ralnor is eating spicy porridge.
Great,
this
somebody's
morning.
enjoying it.
Ralnor is consuming, maybe pot and all, your breakfast.
Can I put Ralnor in the pot?
Make an animal handling check.
Sure.
You pick up this Ralnor, this strange little orangish lizard creature.
It's going to be a 14. That's the highest I rolled for animal handling.
He just makes a weird sound as you pick him up. Are you gonna put him in the porridge? He sinks into the pot,
You good, buddy?
and you just watch bubbles as the level of the porridge begins lowering.
Nice.
This creature, basically a vacuum in there,
Amazing.
very hungry all the time.
Still, we
Can
have
you breathe?
not had to pick up any Ralnor medicine.
There's been no Ralnor treats.
Have we not found that yet?
Landmines, if you will.
Yeah, we've not had to pick up anything. I do not know what Ralnor is.
I mean,
Gwynwyn gives you a bit of a look as you put Ralnor in there. Gwynwyn fully several bowls into her breakfast.
You weren't going to eat anymore, right?
I'm not going to speak for
Yeah,
Gwynwyn. Silas, what are you doing this morning?
much like a dad who's about to go on vacation, I've got an entire list. Yeah, I'm sweeping the entryways.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
yeah, no.
Your shoes
There's
are
whole
looking
things.
awfully clunky today.
Got his New Balances on.
My sneakers, ma'am.
Gwynwyn, wow. I'm sorry, I read what Gwynwyn just said in chat. Silas, I need to know, do you have a big apron? Do you have a big old cleaning apron?
I went to visit Sulo's family. She left me with one.
Oh,
me home.
yes.
Do you pin back your ears while you're cleaning?
He's got a little handkerchief.
Actually,
that's on over his head.
That is a great
My whole
point.
entire trunk is wrapped around my head.
During your downtime, Silas, you did have a chance to head back to one of our earliest adventures over in Walnut Hill. A little bit past, you went to the Tenorman farm where you met Merida and her child Ollie once more. You spent a bit of time there checking in. They're doing okay as best as they can. It seems that a lot of folks in Walnut Hill have stepped up and found places for hey, one of the farms on the other side of the local stream actually has a bit of an excess in crop, and so it's just putting a little bit of spare money, spare food in their coffers. There's a town collection.
Did you tell me?
That I went to Cecil's family. I probably told everyone that I was
I
taking a
would've given
vacation.
Yeah, we would have sent you money.
Yeah.
listen.
Yeah.
Yes, if you'd like to-
There's an entire care
Yeah, I'm
package.
If you'd like to
Yeah.
mark, just if you tell me 10 gold,
10.
L, are you?
I'll
would you like
send
to-
10 gold too.
20 gold is not unsubstantial. Like
No.
that is a big deal. That's enough to pay for her for a year of basic living.
Oh yeah, and while I was there, any kind of repairs that were needed, handled them.
Yeah. Just
Perfect.
I would want to send a care package back. Like,
Oh yeah.
Okay, I exaggerate. It's like three-fourths of a year, but still.
Oh, yeah, it even had cupcakes from Granny that I threw out before we got there.
yeah.
All right.
Pumpkin spice latte is like pack mix. You know, it's-
Well, as our apparent dad is walking around, New Balance sneakers, apron, ears pulled back, checking in on things, making sure all the windows are locked up tight.
You've heard of Daddy, you've heard of Sadie. This is a Sadie? Actually, no, Sadie. Silas Daddy, Sadie. That sounds sad.
There has been, well, Gwynwyn is in your dining room pouting over the loss of the porridge. You have the cart relatively prepared. Are there anything else you want to do here? The instructions have been left with how to care for your plants with a Don.
Yeah. I actually don't fully. I planted that tree, right?
Yes, you so you planted the remnants of an elven oak tree, its roots with a magical sickle in the courtyard of your warehouse. There's a large courtyard that extends about 50 or so feet out from the structure proper and has a large surrounding wall. You gave it plenty of space to grow.
Nice.
Are we bringing Ralnor with us today?
Yes. Why would we not let him see the wide world, beauty and wonder?
What do you do?
I'm gonna go
shelter him?
empty the cart so he doesn't need everything.
You guys would know that
Oh no.
your trip you've planned for it could be anywhere. So it's tough to get a perfect estimate. So this might sound a little bit wider, and we can make some checks if you want me to narrow this for you. It will take approximately 3.5 to 7 days to get to your destination. Now, the hard part about estimating that is that last section, depending on how much the snow has melted, could be a little bit slow. But there is a trail along. You're not doing anything crazy.
I'm trying to prepare spells. I have so many spells.
Oh,
Well, don't worry too much.
Wizards.
Wizards.
Before we go,
And you can seal things that Ralnor won't open.
like when we've all gathered up again, should we use the Velvet Vulpine at least once more before we return it?
on
mean,
what?
Depending on what we go try to find, this could be extra. What do you want?
You already got seen running through the city with this once.
We were in the Moonlight Message. I should mention that.
Yes. We got the wrong
We've
kind
been in
of
there a few
publicity.
times.
Right. Well,
For bad reasons.
Our names weren't in it. It doesn't seem that people recognized us, but technically,
Oh,
you all know that was stolen.
But
Yes.
so here's the great news, right? Because if somebody sees me running down the street, they're not gonna assume it's me.
Oh yeah.
like, Sam,
Yeah. White hair, long flowy robes.
You certainly do look quite a bit like a consortium mage.
I could definitely pass for one if I needed to, and there weren't any other mages there. They would know that I wasn't part of that group. But if somebody saw, white-haired mage chasing after a magical artifact, they may not immediately jump to my name.
I don't have to chase.
So I'm good.
Same.
Yeah.
Or we
I can disguise
just
myself.
return.
I don't stand out.
Well, no, I'm saying from the first time. I'm not saying we should do it again in the middle of the daytime again.
I
Yeah, you do
I'm just
stand out a
saying
little bit.
maybe we can use it after we leave the city walls. Maybe if someone in the party is looking for something, I don't know.
I'm gonna pick it up.
I'm like not looking at Thorn.
You pick up this. It's this. Once again, it's a small statuette of a fox that is sitting nice and straight up. Got its tail curls around the front of its paws, and it's covered in a thin layer of blue velvet.
I'm gonna pet it on its head and say, Lilia Arendral, let it go.
That'll consume the charge. The creature comes to life, springing into the air. That's one way to do it, I suppose. Springing into the air, it runs around, dancing between Elle's legs, just running in like a figure 8 pattern before leaping up onto her shoulder and nuzzling the side of your face just a little bit.
Why is the magical artifact nicer than Belnor?
She has a point.
It then turns into a statue again and is now. You catch it?
We're on a tight schedule. We have a.
Ah.
We're already running late.
Oh my gosh, you're gonna be a dad all day.
Oh my god.
That was its use for today. We can revisit the question later, I guess.
That was the most Connor thing I've seen you do before, Jake.
Seriously.
What is up? Let's go.
Pass this to Jake. That's a bicycle for you. It's our form of DM inspiration. You can use that whenever you'd like, Jake, on any D20 roll.
Let me know when I can give disadvantage to another player.
And yes, I'm so sorry for rubbing velvet on your face, Clola.
So are
It's
we
not real velvet. Thank God.
Fake. Fantasy velvet.
ready to kind of take off?
Is there anything we're forgetting that seems like is really important that we're gonna remember in 2 sessions? I mean, a week or 3.
We checked in. We took PTO from our job.
Yeah.
We
Lock the door. We gotta
Did
lock
we
the door.
save?
Lock the door.
We
Did
locked
we
the
save
door.
money for Yosef to pay rent this month?
We already paid.
You've paid for several months.
Several months. Okay, I didn't do anything.
Do we give Yosef?
Guys, I'll be able to handle things here all fine.
If something goes wrong,
I've got my crossbow. Technically it's Silas's crossbow, but he said I could use it.
Have you been practicing?
I only
I'll
went
have.
8 hours. It's only a mile.
Dawn, while we're gone, can you just come and check with Yosef while we're away? Just every now and then.
Adon is gonna really quickly. Can you make a deception check with Adon real quick? I'm contesting 2 NPCs, and it's better if a player rolls
Make
it.
an insight check.
The insight check for our dear Yosef is a 9.
A deception check.
So just charisma.
8.
Adon says, I think Yosef's got it, but I mean, if you really think I should. And there's like a little bead of sweat running down the side. You see Yosef gets a little tiny bit deflated.
No, it's nothing against you, Yosef. It's just to come
Look,
check in, make
do
sure
you-
everything's
No,
good.
We
I
left
get
him a
it.
contact
He's an
list.
actual fighter.
No.
No,
Do you
that's not
remember what
why.
happened in the during duelist that one night? We don't want that to happen to you again.
I don't want to get stabbed again.
Yeah, we don't want you to get stabbed again, so we have.
That was unpleasant.
Yeah.
Would not recommend.
Would not recommend it either,
Although,
buddy.
you're pretty good at stabbing people.
And getting stabbed, don't forget that.
Yeah, I was pretty good at getting stabbed too.
Oh, well, don't do that.
Look, we left him a contact list. He'll be fine on his own.
though Yosef, you don't worry about the tree. You don't have to water it.
Did you leave him dinner money too for pizza?
I thought I was getting quite a green thumb, but all right.
You can keep working on that aloe that you have in the other room.
Why don't you grow?
I have to go pick up a new aloe plant.
We can just pretend it was the same one.
All right.
We've just been like with goldfish, just replacing.
Oh my god. He's still noticing there's too many. He's really bad at specifically
There's
this.
a compost bin that's full of aloe.
No,
All right.
Okay, just to get my point across, someone's been, telling everyone where we live, and that's why I want.
Also, I will remind you,
You to
Jake
show
is
up
normally
and
actually
check.
saying where the. I learned recently Jake has been saying where the smiles were,
Oh,
not
okay.
your where.
I've been
well
thinking
then,
you've been telling
Yosef, how
everybody.
about you check in with
No,
the
I
smiles? every now and
started
then?
with the warehouse, and you specifically said stop telling people where we live. So I switched to the smiles.
Do you have stranger danger in Anton's Rest?
What are strangers? But friends to be made.
Gwynwyn says this perfectly in unison with Silas.
Straight face, no emotion whatsoever.
Did you grow up in a cult?
It feels like it.
This is the first time I've ever had that thought about you. But that was creepy.
They're a little bit overly
There is
happy.
no cult in Bossing State.
Well, with that, just check. I'm gonna jump us ahead a little bit if if there's nothing else before you get ready.
I can't think of anything we're forgetting.
Are we walking?
We have the cart.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
It's
So the
Keep
ca-
walking.
The cart itself is relatively large. It is drawn by 2 horses. It has seating for 2 in the front, and once you've traveled and used some of the supplies, it would be relatively easy. So you can easily sit 1 person in the back of the cart with all your supplies, or you can fit 2 people. It's a little uncomfortable.
I think we talked about buying one more horse. I'm not gonna down that hill though. We have 3.
Right. So my question was, did you choose for sure? Because there's some ambiguity before to buy a horse, and if you did or didn't.
Well, we'd have to buy like a very large horse for Silas.
Oh, I'm just
to
walking.
ride.
Yeah, you did not have the ability. No one had time and downtime to find a horse for Silas.
I'm Thickums. We're gonna have to find.
You currently have enough to pull the cart with a horse extra, so I don't think it's needed right now.
No, no.
We'll just
We're fine.
We
You can
traveled
ride on
more-
Tenebris. He's big.
No, we can't.
You
no, I
can.
can't.
He weighs more than your horse.
I thought Tenebris was
Your-
a war horse. Isn't he big?
Tenebris is a big horse. You would assume Silas could ride the horse. It would be very difficult, and he'd have to have nothing on
Well,
it.
this
How
is
much
also
do you weigh?
It's a long
Silas weighs like
journey.
500 or 600 pounds
Jeez.
in total. Think about all your gear too.
Oh yeah, I
Never
heard
mind.
so
You
many
can't
weapons.
ride Tenebris.
386. Thank you very much.
So you're
Less
400, dry and naked.
Naked. Yeah, that's fair. No. It's also like what? 8
Please
hours
don't
of-
ride the horse naked.
I.
desperately don't want that
We
to
get the
happen.
We don't want my
Return
trunk
of-
floating in the wind.
Double trunk action is illegal.
Be like,
We get the return of his meanie driving the cart. I'm marching past this.
Yeah, right past it.
Okay, Dad.
That's a watch.
All right. So you all gather your things. For the start, who would we like to have? Just who is in charge of the cart for right now? We're gonna continue having as many like before. Excellent. Victoria's not here, and so we're gonna thrust the.
if you like, I'll be
position
up front with Tenebris since I'm a little less encumbered.
Great.
The slow cart.
I'd also like to mention you do have a saddle and appropriately sized saddlebags to carry a light amount of gear with you without any problem.
Sure.
All right. You begin making your way out of your warehouse. Adon beaming and smiling, with a send off. Yosef, you just see a little tear going down the side as you guys are all leaving. And you make your way back to the streets of Eltz. It's still relatively early. Much to Silas's chagrin, it's like 9:30 now when you're leaving.
We were supposed to leave at 8:45, and that was knowing we would leave late and be at 9.
And so you begin heading out through the barrows. You begin making your way out of the city, passing Pyrewood Row. The duelist itself, very calm. If anyone's inside, they're probably just cleaning up from last night's activities. Passing on further, you make your way to the West Gate, seeing that strange-shaped building the Smiles has, as always, and make your way out of the city. For some of you, it's been a little while. Trying to think, was the last time that you were here, Laurentius, when you received your emerald?
Mm-hmm.
You didn't. I don't.
Other than going to Zarathal's.
Sure, that was quite a bit further north
Further
of here,
north,
but
yeah.
heading out of the West Gate, the same direction that you originally headed, you are now back towards the heart of the bulwark, or Teyrilla, as the elves would call it. You all did spend some time during your downtime making sure you understood where to go, so no worries when it comes to basic maps and instructions to get to your location. You've already paid and spent the time studying to have that information. I do want to do a retroactive little check here. What I'm going to allow is I will allow 2 people to roll, 1 with advantage, 1 without, just to represent all of you, but putting your heads together over this time. This is going to be a history check. So I will allow 2 of the 3 of you to roll, 1 of you with advantage. Hello, Victoria.
I will take the non-advantage.
I'll take the advantage history.
Okay.
If that's
so
all right.
This roll, yes, absolutely fine. This roll just represents some of the studying you've all done together over the past
Now one.
about a month. Natural 1 and
With advantage?
It's with advantage. It's a 13.
wow, you rolled terribly.
Yeah, I rolled a 4 plus 9.
And a 1, 4 and a 1.
And a 4.
It's a history check.
So it was a
Yeah.
14.
I'm good at history. Yeah, 13.
Yes. So history. In this case, we're using the history check to represent understanding maps. If you had someone that was proficient in cartographer tools, that would also be relevant.
Now that I'm thinking about my background,
So 14?
13.
13. 13 is actually still 1 success. It's not as extreme. I can give you a general outline, and there are some minor details you can ask me about as we're progressing. You know that the general path is... You've traveled some of it. The first place you need to go to is going to be Galavon, which you've been to in the past. However, when you originally entered Galavon, you approached from the west. So you rounded the bend of the west side of Mount Shannon, the mountain where the mining happens in that town. Once you get to Galavon, if you want to make it to the Murloc Mountains, you actually need to head around the eastern side, heading northward. So the Murloc Mountains is a mountain range that actually ends with Mount Shannon. So you're going to travel to Galavon, head up north. You'll eventually make it to Carthholm, which is a relatively small town along the way, at which point you'll actually be entering the mountainous paths around the Murloc Mountains. Your destination is the Red Rock Monastery, located near the Throne, which is this large mountain in the area. Taldrig's Throne. Were there any questions that you have? Because you did roll a 13, which is pretty good. Do you have any more questions about your journey?
You said it was... I can't say the word Taldrig's Throne.
Taltrid. I misspoke.
Okay, I guess can we make a quick check what we might expect there? Maybe if we remember, watch out for this kind of a beast.
Sure. That's actually more of a biome sort of thing. So I'm going to ask for another check. I'm going to ask for one person to make a nature check and one person to make an arcana check. Basically, what natural or magical things would show up in this area. For fun's sake, if you'd like, we could just have the other two players roll those.
Oh, yeah, do it.
Sure. I'll do nature.
Would you like to make an arcana check,
You're gonna do
Victoria?
Arcana.
Please.
Doesn't matter.
This represents all of you working together over quite some time. Even a low roll isn't necessarily a bad thing.
Rolled a 4, so.
We're going to start with a nature check.
Nature. I got a 9, so 7.
So with a 7, what I can tell you is that though you were able to determine that the mountains were, that you're going to the Murloc Mountains, and you know that relatively speaking, there's not a lot of large creatures, large beasts that live in the mountains. You don't know of anything particularly noteworthy. Honestly, it could be the case where there's just not a lot of large fauna there.
Do I remember any, like, I don't know, like fairy tales that maybe my dad told me about the Murloc Mountains, something like that?
You do know
Might
quite a
tell me
bit,
what
a
lives up
decent
there.
bit, because the Murloc Mountains, where you're going, is not terribly far. Now, it's still pretty far west comparatively, but if you were to head east from the Murloc Mountains where you're going, you would be at Dunsmith.
Okay.
So, the one thing I can say is there was a festival, roughly at the beginning of springtime, so we're about at that time in Dunsmith, which was when the river would overflow a little bit, as there is a river that flows through town that actually the source of it is the ice on top of the Murloc Mountains. While the region is relatively warm, Taltrid's Throne and the small cluster of mountains around it are quite tall and really bottle up some ice in the dead of winter. And so there's a sort of festival in town where folks will actually, the couple of days before the end of winter, they'll go and they will bury small letters in the riverbank with the intent on they'll be swept away. And it's just a nice way to make wishes for the next year. Some of the younger folks might confess their true feelings, whisper them into notes if they're too bashful to write them down and embed them there. But you don't have rumors of it's a cursed mountain. You kind of thinking about it, kind of rolling along with that history check from before. You have heard that there are stone men in the mountains, but at this point you would realize they're referring to Goliaths, which are a type of
Statues.
person. Maybe you think they're statues. That's fair too.
Yeah.
Is it bad when he said stone men? I just assumed dwarves.
Yeah, it is.
All right, and that Arcana check.
25.
25. Now, I apologize because I know a high roll you normally expect a lot. What I can tell you is this place is not known for having it's not known for having any particularly powerful magical beasts.
Dragons. No known dragons.
Ugh,
No,
I thought we were
there's
gonna
no
have
known
famous
dragons.
tonight.
What you do know is that with that Arcana, I will let you know a little bit more about the magical, or I suppose the
Mystical.
mystical is a fair way of putting it as well, of the Red Rock Monastery. The monastery itself studies the improvement of the self, as do many of these such orders do, but the people there are much more open to travelers who make it there. However, a lot of people say that it's actually been shrouded magically. So locating the actual monastery is something that few can do, but those who make it there are generally met with open arms by the monks within.
So at least they're friendly.
In the
To a
spirit
point.
of Gwenny, can I actually make a roll for Amanda? I'm kind of curious what reagents might be on the island, the mountain. Something that she might only get there.
I'm not gonna have you roll for Gwynwyn on this, as I feel a little bit odd here. But I'm gonna make a real quick check here. What I will let you know is that because of the temperature there, it's hard in a lot of the places that you grew up. You grew up over in the Forex Empire. There's not a lot of cold territory, but supposedly near the top of the mountain there are some flowers that only bloom in winter. We're right at the end of winter, so winter ended a few days ago at this point, but you could still find some remnants if you'd like to take a look there.
Let's go.
All right. I think given those rolls, it's a fair amount of information for y'all.
So it's shrouded in magic, so it's hard to find. But luckily, we have the Vulpine.
With a 25, you're not certain it has a magical protection, but people think it has a magic
Probably
protection.
because there's so many rocks.
Okay.
Sorry.
Wow.
Do you have a thorn
Speedy
moment?
has 20 intelligence.
You had a thorn moment, right?
Victoria had a thorn moment.
We have that.
I think
Yeah.
we're off to a rocky start.
No.
Because of the rocks, guys.
Get it.
All right.
Our dad.
I regret nothing.
I'm gonna ask. We're gonna take the introduction order from before. I think for today's. I love rolling dice. Don't you guys? You want to roll some dice? Clella,
I had stored the worst.
as you all begin heading off into Teyrilla along this, relatively well-maintained path, exiting the city was calm. It's very quiet. It's early in the morning. It's springtime, so the market's going to be bustling in a couple hours, anyways. You exit the west gate and begin traveling in Teyrilla. It'll take you a good portion of the day to get out of the bulwark to get to the other side of the forest, but you'll be able to travel. You don't need to stop in Galavon at all if you don't want to, but you certainly can. Roll me a d20 real quick.
4.
A 4, not a problem. These encounter tables, it's not always worse for lower, but as you begin passing through, there's a faint sound in the distance, high-pitched and steady, this ooh sort of sound, and it's matched by another, and a third. And at first these sound kind of discordant, but once enough of these sounds from high up in the treetops continue, you recognize these sounds. Maybe you've heard them from your mothers telling you a little bit about the music of the various forms of elven kind. But there's essentially a sort of greeting that is it's an expectant greeting. We will see you again. As the people of Teyrilla begin sending best wishes to all of you. And though it's this kind of somber moment, maybe for a little bit as they're playing, you do hear what sounds to be maybe a little boy go, "Come back, summer sisters!" Again, due to the magics of Teyrilla, you're not able to see the peak where they are physically. They're relatively high, but the tops of the trees are obscured by magic. But you can feel the eyes of the wood elves of the forest watching as you head through. And it feels safe in the forest.
Say, be back soon in Elvish.
Aren't you gonna make the same sound as them?
They're flutes, by the way. There were flutes and whistles.
I'm also tone deaf.
Gwynwyn has the
I'm not
pan
sure.
flute.
Oh, that explains
yeah.
a lot.
Oh no!
What, dude?
Oh no!
What's going on?
I
Why is that?
What is that? What's getting written down? Get
I
it
can't
written
have
down.
all the
Underlined.
skills. I can't have all skills.
Why did you pull the book out? For that?
Right?
God,
There's
did I
something
piss
we
off?
don't know.
Yeah, there's some elder god watching us right now. Like, okay.
All
Well, I
right,
liked her
well,
before, but
Let me go
Oh no!
tap the music real quick.
Oh my goodness.
Oh.
I was just thinking about how we can't get our cart up the mountain.
Oh, I'm gonna get behind it and push.
No, so I will say this. You are all well prepared for this journey. There is a road where you're going.
Ah.
It's a dirt path, but it is packed dirt. It is something that's
We're not skyrimming with the horses.
correct.
Okay.
But
Well, then we
as a
can go
reminder, if you yell Skyrim while going up a ramp, it does help.
Okay. Keep
gives
that
you
in mind.
advantage.
Does it?
Yeah.
Skyrim.
It worked.
We're gonna go with Ismini next. Ismini, do you mind roll me a d20? Let me turn this down just a little bit. Sorry.
We're all just turn around and like jump up the hill backwards.
This is the third one today.
Was that a 1?
17. I
17.
rolled 3 17s.
Wow.
All right.
Okay.
As you continue along your way, now you've seen a few folks here. Some people walking along the footpath. You see there is walking a little bit off to the side so as to not disturb folks, there is a barrel-chested man who's holding what looks to be a relatively small buck over his shoulder, a buck over his shoulders, who's walking off to the side. But this pair that you see a little bit further, you've been traveling through the forest for about 2 hours at this point. You do, maybe it gives you pause, maybe it doesn't, but there is a pair of individuals, one wearing a chain shirt, holding a big club over his shoulders, and in his other hand is a rope that is attached to the wrists of a man who's walking behind him. You see that the man holding the club is this half-orc man, and you can see that he has what looks to be some sort of badge pinned to the chain shirt, and is just walking, kind of tugging along this person behind. This human man who's, I won't say scrawny, because he's not skinny. There's not much muscle to him. There's a little bit of a beer belly here. This older human man, a little bit pasty, a small patch forming in one corner here. And as he's as these two are walking, the orc kind of looks up to your cart.
Excuse me. If I could have your moment of your time.
All right, I say, looking at him suspiciously.
I'm much appreciated, milady. I'm a bailiff of Eltz, and I'm taking this one into the city to be properly judged fairly under the rules of the Nine. But
Kind of yanks the rope a little bit, pulling this man forward. He looks up to you. This again pasty human man kind of gives you a big smile, a couple teeth missing.
this one has been complaining again, and so I'd like to have him explain his crimes once again.
And you see this man who looks, oh, come on, it wasn't that big of a deal. We don't have to. You guys can keep going. You don't want to hear about me.
You know, I am dreadfully curious.
The bailiff looks back at him and just says,
Well, it's pretty simple. He can explain, or if you'd rather, we'll walk out of the forest and come back through again before we take you off for processing.
Again?
Oh, he's been stubborn about talking about what he's accused of.
well, it was just a teensy bit.
Of?
Well, I had a bit too much, but it is not my fault. They overserve in Walnut Hill.
That's a lie.
That's a lie.
Yeah.
The orc kind of grunts at him. Okay. You're not... So technically, I violated what the mayor wanted, but let it be known, the Nine watched over me as I drank, and I woke the next day. Which means it wasn't disorderly to go out in the day, and just once again, the bailiff kind of just clearing his throat, annoyed. According to him, I was disrespectful of the crown and publicly indecent and a petty thief.
Okay,
As you're kind of sitting there, and I may have done a little bit of window pissing. That is all!
Oh, who
But the goblin's not in chains now, is he?
Was it?
There's no
Did the
goblins
goblin
in
get away?
Boston, say.
This orc looks at you.
I'm sorry. What did you just say?
I said.
Which one of us?
Yeah,
We all spoke.
We all said something.
You uttered some sort of profanity.
No, it's just a name.
I said there's no goblins in Boston. Say.
Where is this bossing say that you keep referencing?
There is no goblins or cults in Boston.
There is no bossing say in Grin.
The bailiff was a bit confused.
I must have been mistaken if you were familiar with such, well, individuals who lack any sense of decorum.
Yeah, it happens.
Just
No big deal.
meeting someone doesn't mean we associate with them.
Yeah.
I mean, you met this guy, right?
That's actually true.
I was called to Walnut Hill to deal with this one.
To meet him.
To meet him.
Technically.
And so if you reference later that you met him, we wouldn't assume that you were a drunkard.
Who
Unless
likes
you
pee on
do
windows.
have a habit.
I mean-
of,
Peeing
Unless
on
you
windows.
are.
Yeah,
you,
painting
you're
windows.
you're dealing with a drunkard, so it's probably gonna rub off on you at some point. The smell.
Miasma.
I have no
So-
problem with alcohol. It's the law of Walnut Hill.
Just
When was
saying,
the
you
last
don't,
time you drank?
want to.
I don't like your tone, Lox.
Okay, this is getting ridiculous. This man peed on a window and obviously should go to jail for
You
it.
marched him from Walnut Hill to
Yeah,
Eltz?
isn't that a little? No, he's
Like,
marching around the
they-
forest.
He couldn't just get in trouble. They have like cells there.
Well, he got in trouble with the crown because he's disrespecting the crown. It wasn't
What did
just
you do to
about...
disrespect the crown?
Actually, that's
I
interesting.
believe that if I were to explain that precisely, I would be in a bit more trouble.
Oh, so you just peed on the wrong person's window. See, you gotta think ahead when you do something like that.
No, you just.
Do you have much
do something
experience
like that.
pissing on windows?
Do you?
This was a bad idea. All right, come on, you.
Us.
Yeah, it was a bad idea. He's like regretting asking your opinions.
Oh no, I just said he should definitely go to jail, so I think I'm on a different side of the rest of the party.
This man turns to you, kind of looking, just pleading eyes as he's being dragged off
I think
the
he's
Eltz.
dumb because he got caught.
I mean,
Not
I
above
just.
the law.
Because
Sorry.
Silence is pretty lawful, and I'm gonna say peeing on a window should not get you thrown in jail.
We're gonna have a moral
Explicitly-
debate for the
13
rest of
windows
this.
to be precise.
It explicitly
15?
should
13?
get you thrown in
13.
jail.
13 windows
Like in a
is
row?
No, stop.
a
How did he
lot of-
pee that much?
He was
He's
He had a
like,
lot of
A lot of
booze.
beer.
Jesus Christ.
You just...
I didn't say he peed all at once.
Circle of life, come on, man.
He's speed run.
He peed on a window, went back to balls.
Yeah,
Peed on a window.
just kind of held it
To
off
the
to the
window.
I
side.
didn't know
and
that our
The
friend
ball
Ack is.
Our dear
Well,
friend Dak?
yeah.
Yeah, I know. I love hearing that he's still up to his usual business. We should go visit him at some
Yeah, why don't we
point.
take him with us?
No.
No, he's making bank where he's at.
Yeah, we could... We could...
Yeah, he's got his own speakeasy. He's
Frankly,
making money.
I'm surprised he's the only person with that enterprise, like in Walnut Hill.
He's not technically in Walnut Hill. He's outside of Walnut
He's
Hill.
just barely outside of
He's-
Walnut Hill.
That's what I mean.
He's posted up right at the city line.
Yep. It's like the
It's Vegas, baby.
part.
All right. We're going to go ahead and make one more of these checks.
So we spend the next hour debating whether or not he
Do
should
you
have gone
remember
to
the
jail.
farmhouse? Was that Walnut Hill?
That was right outside of Walnut Hill.
The farmhouse. Did we ever go and check out that abandoned farmhouse?
No, we never did.
No.
No,
Oh,
we didn't.
doesn't
He
matter.
burned it down.
Yeah, it's gone.
Oh,
That sounds like us.
It does sound like a...
sounds
Jake,
like
would
one
you
of
mind
us.
rolling me a d20?
The one that's not here.
been waiting all my life for this moment to get a natural 20.
Well, there's a lot of misses on this table. Okay.
Was this a miss?
No.
Were these all hits?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Top 20 hits.
Oh, misses and like nothing happened.
Oh.
There are times where just we'll proceed.
We find a bird.
You all continuing along your way, heading off. You're actually Galavon is now in sight. So you see that the path itself has widened up. Now, there's still roughly the same width of the road that is maintained. The King's Road, which you've been on before. That was where our journey started. Though it opens up and you see smaller dirt paths, probably leading to different parts of Galavon, as this small town at the base of Mount Shannon comes into view. But you see, marching towards you is a person who seems to be paying you no mind. He's a human man. He's got this sort of like maroonish scarf on, a bow on his back, a quiver at his side, with bright yellow fletching, and a short sword on his hip as he just is walking. He's walking into Tayrilla. It looks like he's coming from Galavon.
Does the fletching look familiar? We've seen yellow fletching.
You've seen these before.
They're often used by hunters.
I know, I'm just wondering if we recognize this.
He does he have anything on him?
He's got a bow on his back, a quiver. He's got a short sword. He's an armed person. He looks like a hunter. He
Does
could be a
have any
mercenary.
guild symbolism?
Give me a perception check.
Uh-huh.
You guys are kind of rolling up. He doesn't pay you any mind. He just like steps off to the side. Natural 1.
4,
Your perspective.
a 6.
Taking a look over, you actually you think you might see something as he's kind of walking. He's got leather armor on, very light. They're probably less for travel. Is just going for a hunt, so it's probably more for protecting against the brush or something very minimal. So you think for a moment you see a shine of something, but it's hard to tell as he's just kind of walking the opposite
Could be a
direction as you.
button.
Good sir.
Ah,
We're on a bit of a long journey. Before we go, we might need to hunt down some food. Do you have any recommendations around here? A good place to hunt.
nope. I can't offer that service to you anymore. Get in trouble with the
Anymore?
guilds.
What guild would do such a thing? helping your fellow man.
Oh, my apologies. If you're looking for hunters, you're gonna want to head back the way you came. There's a lot of them out there, though. Spits on the ground. Don't go to the Whistler's Lodge.
Don't go to the Whistler's
The
Lodge.
Whistlers. Did you used to be part of the Whistlers?
Yeah. Well, let's just say Loro, the man in charge, was pretty unhappy with some of us after. Let's take a real quick 19 on the die. He goes, "Wait a second. You're the ones who fought that damn wolf."
Oh.
I wouldn't curse the wolf. The wolf was just doing the wolf's job.
No, you're right. Some of us got together and went to the lodge afterwards and proposed we maybe moved our hunting operation to somewhere a little bit less magical, if you know what I mean.
I don't blame you.
Well, Loro called us a bunch of cowards and kicked us out the front door.
Oh, do you have a...
If you ever want to make a change in career path,
You look like a strong man. I thought you used that.
Oh no, I'm not particularly great. If you want someone good, you'll want to talk to Bendis.
I mean, you could always come join the Smiles.
Hey, we have work for everyone.
Yeah.
Well, kind of sounds to me like your sort of work involves fighting giant magical dogs, which is exactly the sort of thing I got out to avoid.
It's
Now,
actually
sir.
really reasonable, actually, now
But-
that you say it.
Can I ask you
No,
a question? Sorry, go ahead.
No, you first.
Do you think you could beat a one-armed man in arm wrestling?
One-armed man. Arm wrestling? Of course.
Now,
pretty
that's the kind of guys we have. Don't you think you'd fit right in? You definitely would be stronger than most.
Maybe a deception check, you son of a bitch.
Okay, just
That's
talking
a-
about this.
Sitting up to
That is a
Blue.
5 for me.
Deception?
Yeah?
That is a...
Tell me it's not.
It's me using a bicycle. It was a
No
4 for
way!
me. It was a 4.
What?
Ah,
There you
it's
go.
an 18.
My boy!
Just lie really good.
no,
We start stumbling over your words and pick it up again.
Oh, sorry, there was something in my trunk.
All right, well, you know what? I'll have to check out these Defiant Smiles.
Defiant Smiles. Pays good. Pick your missions.
We have a bar. It's a little alcohol.
Wait a second. Actually, that was the big sticking point with me and the guys. We don't feel comfortable doing something, we don't go do it.
Yeah, if you have ethical
say no.
reasons
Exactly.
to not
That's
do
the
something.
whole thing with Defiant Smiles.
I was only with the Whistlers for a couple of months, but we started out, I did some hunting wolves that were getting a little too close to the gate, or catching a buck. We even took down a moose once, which shouldn't wander that far for the mountains.
Yeah.
But it had us hunting some weird critters that were going around, and we even got in a couple tussles with elves who were pissed off at us being in their land.
I mean, the whole incident.
Sometimes
with
they
the
might
wolf.
even ask you to fish.
Yeah, if you
Not
hang
even
out,
hunts.
go talk to Brask
Oh,
about
yeah.
it. And
Look,
Wait.
we've caught a
she
rock.
says, going back to her session 11.
Brats.
You mentioned some of the Whistlers had to hunt more intelligent and magical creatures in the Bulwark than you would prefer.
Yeah.
Do you know if it was just the Whistlers or if any other guilds?
Whistler's Lodge was given domain over the bulwark.
Okay.
Everyone else got to be hunting too small in numbers. There's contract limits, and I don't deal with the business side of things, but my understanding is we're the only ones who are allowed to, well, shouldn't say we anymore. The lodge is the only one who's supposed to take on contracts above a certain pay threshold, which is why it was so popular. But
Yeah.
figure about a third of us left.
In this moment, you see a new enemy acquired thing above my head.
Yeah. A little
Quest log updated.
Yes.
He did have that exclamation point right above
He
his
did.
head.
I did see that, yeah.
It's just a little highlight.
Yeah, no, we're able to kind of pick and choose. There's always going to be stuff that we don't want to say yes to, or we're too,
Yeah. I was about to say, one of the first jobs we heard about when we started, someone had to go grab a rug, a little leather rug. Do you remember that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember.
There's definitely some yes men in the Defiant Smiles, but you don't necessarily have to say yes to everything.
Yeah, well, if it's easy coin, I'm looking for work.
Hey, feel free to
Anyways,
tell your
I gotta go
friends.
catch me some breakfast, but maybe I'll head over in a couple of days, take a look see.
Yeah, please do.
All right. He kind of gives you a little nod. Oh, Tanis.
Hi, Dennis.
Ah, Silas, Olivier, is Meanie. Gwenny's in the car.
Whatever you say, yes, man.
and then continues heading off.
I helped you get.
Gwynwyn cackling in the back of the cart.
I helped him.
Silas in shambles.
I feel so bad for lying to this sweet man.
This is the first time I ever encouraged somebody to work for the Smile.
Right.
Yeah.
And someone was like,
the way
we're
the
going
guild
to
works.
recruit. And we're like,
Okay.
You don't have to all. It's not you all go do things. It's you work towards common goals.
Yeah. We all just go do things together because
Well, we now have a ranged character in
Maybe.
the guild.
Yeah.
Maybe.
None of the
Maybe.
rest of us are ranged characters.
Certainly not. All three of you, all four of you have a strong range ability. Yours is the weakest, but
No.
still good.
Technically, I have a
Gwynwyn
sling, but I can
is
move
all
people with
range.
it, technically.
Gwynwyn's all range. I'm all range.
I don't know. She's got a cool little axe. All right,
I'm the flex.
Right.
And comes back.
Yeah, you're flex slot.
Heading back into Galavon, I need the driver, which is going to be Ismini, plus one other person to make me perception checks.
I will. I'm walking by myself with the,
Okay.
next to the car.
I'm assuming that you two, as well as Gwynwyn, are all in the cart. Is that fair? Would you rather walk?
no, I'm in the cart.
Perception checks?
8.
16.
16. Heading through town, and because that is high enough, I'll also need an investigation check from you because that did succeed. Heading into town,
Natural 1.
Oh my gosh, what's the total?
6.
It's
Do you have a different D20?
Didn't even roll.
Heading into the
Wow.
town, there's something kind of off to it that you notice, but you can't place your finger on it. But I can tell you a few details if you'd like to try to piece it together as players. You begin heading to town. You see some of those familiar uniforms. Now you see what looks to be a lot of people wearing their green overalls. Some of them have the badging you've seen before, but there's a lot more people in the streets, and you notice a lot more people that are kind of sitting around, even though it's past noon at this point.
So we see a lot of workers, but not working.
And as yes, exactly. You're kind of heading off. You're not heading it on the King's Road anymore. You're turning up and heading northward along that path to the Murloc Mountains. And you notice as you're passing up towards the walled section at the base of the mountain where O'Brien's Steel is that the massive gate at the front that you once went through is closed. You don't see and because it's on an incline, you can still see the structures inside. You don't see people inside inside those structures.
No, I didn't roll great on
Workers'
my
strike.
first.
Sure, but you can ask basic questions.
Right. I was actually gonna say I rolled great on my perception, but not my investigation.
Yes.
Could I hand the reins over and work out into Squawk to go get a
Oh,
quick
sure.
look?
If you spend time, you get to
Yeah.
do more stuff.
I'm
Absolutely.
gonna work out.
now. This is just me. Do they have picket fences saying no more work, things like that?
Looking around, you don't see the general signs of discontent or anger, I should say.
Yeah.
But what you do see is some folks maybe looking a little more hungry,
Sounds
looking a little bit out of work.
We should, if we have any silverbacks left, just throw them on the ground.
I'm pretty sure we destroyed their economy by only throwing silverbacks on the ground.
Oh,
Or O'Brien.
With that perception check, I'll actually go ahead and give you. You do see there are some folks who are just gambling in the streets with stacks of silverbacks. Fat stacks of
we
So-
crashed the economy.
Or
So we-
O'Brien
We did
Steel
inflation.
did layoffs.
We did.
because they're evil.
We did inflation.
Did is there like the notice board when we first came here?
Is there an owl sitting on it?
What kind of posters are up?
You want to go? Oh, so you're talking about there was in the market there is a place that showed
Oh,
wanted
we're not
posters.
going
Real
by that area.
stuff.
If you'd like to, you can go. It's only a few minutes out of the way.
We can
was-
just ask someone.
We can also.
I just wanted to see if there's any posters of people that might look kind of like us.
Oh, that's actually fair.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that one's pretty easy. If you guys want to divert a little bit and head through the market, heading over, you see that familiar place from before where you once saw a couple of elves ready to kill a man over some ancestral armor.
We were ready to help.
You see that same post is still up there, and you see a lot of these Ingra the Ingot posters that are set up. A lot of them are saying things like, "Facilities reopen soon. Sign up for your new job." And it looks like there's an active recruitment program that's going on. You see places on here to buy how to buy silverbacks. There's like instructions on where to go in town for it. But looking around, though, you do see wanted posters for the vigilantes itself. The only thing that would relate to you all is you do see a sketch, a relatively poor rendition of the Velvet Vulpine itself. It is a reward of 100,000 gold pieces.
So let's tuck that away.
Or we could turn it
To
into
clarify,
That it's hidden.
this involves the capture of the thieves. If you want to turn yourselves in, I'm
I
all
don't know
for
about
it.
Lionheart. I'm pretty sure he stole it.
Yeah.
I also
That's
think
chaotic
Lionheart
Jake
stole.
saying that.
Well, the Lionheart is referenced on that, as he's the only person whose face was revealed on that night. And I say face, I mean helmet.
Maybe I'm gonna kind of snap the reins on Tenebrous. Maybe pick up the pace a little bit through
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Do we not want to maybe ask?
I
some
want to
people
know what the
sitting
heck
next
is
to
going
us?
on and
Do you
if
think
because of our
could we
inflation.
Yeah.
swing by
swing
where
by
that?
on the way back.
There's a no.
The bar that we went to.
Well, I was actually thinking of the like clinic we went by.
That's inside of that facility.
Yeah.
Yeah. This
But
is
if you
the
want to
same
stop
place
and talk to
with
some of the workers, you could.
Yeah.
Do you want to find someone by themselves, or
Yeah.
someone who there would be witnesses?
I would like witnesses.
Okay, not a problem.
This is the place with the arrow crockers in the tree, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that was before this. It was Copper Sky.
I think it's where we heard
They needed it
about
for the
They
Okay.
had a poster here. Though.
yeah, because they were looking for people to go
Recruiting.
collect things from the trees for medicine.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because
I can find the Eric Cochran thing.
Taking a little bit of time to try to find a group of folks who you think might be able to be willing to chat with you. You do spy a younger woman, probably in her early to mid 30s, human with this dark brown hair. She looks up at the travelers who are coming through, and there's a little bit of a wry grin as she sees you. Oi! You looking to spend some coin?
before I,
She's like gambling in the streets right now.
I'm like laying down in the cart. Before I stand up, can I cast Disguise Self?
Yeah.
Cool.
Tattoos. It's thing for.
They're looking for Eric Cocker to go collect things from the trees for prismatic ink, but we didn't get more detail than that.
Yeah, that's what.
Yes, there are Eric Cochrans are being recruited.
Not wizards. They can fly
That
No,
probably
is it?
costs more money to get
Yeah.
a wizard that can fly
3 times a day for an hour.
As opposed to as much as you need.
for level 1.
But what would you describe your disguise to me, Olivier?
I'm in my go-to Operation Scramble disguise.
Operation Scramble it is.
Yes.
All right, but you see this woman.
We don't know what that means.
Can you want to describe what it means?
Oh, Operation Scramble is when Gwynwyn and Elle disguise themselves as someone who is the middle of their 2 heights and have like almost similar, like very similar features,
love
so that
this.
we can run opposite directions.
I like this.
I was
What's-
thinking maybe it has something to do with eggs.
There's like a high level spell that simulates that, but has other effects too.
Yeah.
It's very fun.
I like the 2nd level spell Alter Self. It's one that I meant to grab. And
Whoever
you
has the tiara.
you can do it with the action. You can change what you look like, or you can like grow. You can get like a
Claws or something.
You can get claws. You can swim. You can breathe underwater. Love it.
Brownlore is fully asleep inside of someone's bag.
Right.
Whose it is, I'll roll for later. It's probably Laurentius's.
Oh yeah, it's nice and warm and smelly in there.
But you seeing this woman, she's got a big smirk. You see she got a huge stack of silverbacks that she's just kind of counting through again. Seems to have just won some sort of dice game with a number of folks here in Galavon.
Pulling out a silver piece, how much to buy in?
Well, if you got outsider coin, I mean, I'll cut you a break if that's what you want.
Oh, hey, not me. I'm asking for our sweet lady friend. She's kind of new to the scene, but enjoys a game or two.
Sure. She pulls out a couple of. You got a silver piece, is what you offered, right?
Yeah.
She goes over and just begins counting out. Here you go. Hands the pile over to you.
Let's play.
I want to mind link with Ismini and be like, do you want to guarantee a win?
No.
Okay.
Okay.
Thought maybe you would play for
She's
information.
playing a dice game.
Well, here's the thing. You guys can go collect information, and I can play a game.
Like I said, guarantee
Oh,
a win.
this was so during this game you'll be able to make checks
Right.
to get information that
Yeah.
you're looking for.
The
Alright.
idea.
Fair enough.
I'm proficient in playing cards, not in dice.
All right. So this game is going to use dexterity as the check for it. Additionally, if you'd like to cheat, you can let me know. I have mechanics for cheating in a dice game.
Cheating games.
But it's going to be a dexterity check. As you go, she quickly makes sure that you know how to play this game. You've played 19s before. It's not a problem. Is me getting a little bit excited? Go ahead and make me a dexterity check real quick. And as you're doing this, you begin playing a couple hands, putting silverbacks in the pot. what kind of information are you hoping to gather here?
I'm just saying that I passed through here before, and I was just noticing that, it seems like there's just a lot of people kind of not doing as much. I remember it was almost a ghost town during the day.
Oh, I know what you...
17.
17? You win this first one. She goes, kind of rolling her eyes. Oh, not bad. Hey, you want to keep going? You could double your money.
I'll
Adding in another silver piece. Keep going.
Look, she doesn't get out much. I'll add 2 silver.
But as you're going through here, I know what you mean. Well, O'Brien's been out of town for a while now.
The operations shut down with Adam 20.
Oh my gosh.
No.
Natural one. You get more stacks on top, and she goes, oh, I mean, you want to put a little bit more in? We can make a real big pot. Get a whole crowd going on.
Left that I have.
You put this stack. It's only worth. You want to put in the third silver piece?
Oh yeah,
It's only 3 silver pieces, and it's genuinely hundreds of silverbacks. As you're looking through here, oh yeah, I mean, you didn't hear? He's been up visiting his fancy pants over in Eltz. Branson. Hello, Branson. Yeah, they had some sort of trouble happen up at his house, and he's been up there. Maybe they're rebuilding. I don't know why, but they closed the center down after what happened a couple months back.
Those rich folks are always so busy.
Flighty.
So I was giving myself disadvantage each roll. She's kind of being nice. Here, 16.
21.
21. You see, she's been smiling, ready. She goes, all right. She gets this excellent hand throwing these bone dice on the ground. And as you look at that, you nod. What's your last piece of information you wanted from her? Anything else?
Why is it that a few months ago when I passed through, silverbacks were relatively tied to silver, and now it seems like 3 silver can get me 100,000 of these?
Well, sometimes the ledger goes up, sometimes the ledger goes down. When the ledger's down, maybe gathering a little more and waiting for it to swing the other way is beneficial to some who don't want to get back in the mines.
Who's to say you'll be able to cash out?
Shows you. You always cash out in Galavon.
Speaking of which, I'm going to now, and I stand up and I don't touch the silverbacks.
As you rolling perfect 19, you stand. You're gonna leave the money there on the ground. Anything else? Or are you fully drama turning away?
I got what I needed. If you guys want to ask more questions,
Hey, what do you?
cash out later.
Don't.
You watch some of the other people begin reaching over. Yeah, back off, you bunch of vultures.
That was 3 silver right
Yes.
now. It would feel so gross for me to keep it.
Yeah.
There was no way I could keep it and then just wait for O'Brien to come back and suddenly I'm a millionaire.
It's crazy
Now-
that they shut down the operation if he's not there.
You have to come all the way to
honestly,
Galavon.
So what the impression you got there is that they shut down the operations because of what happened, because the sorting facility was partially destroyed, because of, as you know, a Yugoloth killed a bunch of people there and shattered part of the
Oh
building.
yeah, the last demon.
Whoops.
Yeah.
But
Fiend.
it hasn't reopened, and in fact, they've closed the other facilities here.
That part I'm
Now-
concerned
There's going to
about.
be enough
Yeah.
need for steel, though.
Just
Have-
kind of.
I'm gonna be
Actually, I
casting
did have a
something
question
soon.
before we leave. I just
So do
want
I.
to
Whatever you want. Whatever you want, Mr. Lilac.
What's the port activity been like? A lot of ships coming in and out.
Oh,
Maybe just one
you would
ship
know.
back and forth?
We're not near.
Galavon.
We're not near the water.
Then I thought he was shipping bodies.
In carts.
Oh, gotcha.
Sorry, that is a
Like,
bad
No, it's my
But
bad.
I mean,
Like
like
in
in
trucks,
and just not ports.
shipping.
What's the trade?
Yeah,
activity
what's the
like?
trade activity? Look
He
like?
uses.
Oh, I mean that little comes out of this part of Galavon. You want most of what we're getting here is like Voruxi traders coming in from the west, passing through town, selling what they can here because we don't pay as much taxes.
See a lot of carts going in and out of the mill, the steel mill.
You know, not in a couple weeks actually. They used to be, but not so much anymore.
Well, if the trouble in the Vorex continues, then.
Oh, you're
sure
talking about they almost killed the Dragon King, huh?
Yeah.
They did not quite manage.
Or
to kill
I'm
him.
sorry, Emperor. Can you believe someone would actually call their leader an emperor?
Well,
Can you
get to
believe
pick
somebody
your
would
own
change
title.
their own title to emperor?
He woke up one day and said, "King is not good enough."
Has he conquered something yet? Enough to be called an emperor?
That's
Is
your
that an
rare-
actual history question?
That's
Did you-
your
Yeah, no, I'm
emperor.
kind of curious. Like, has he actually done something to make him an emperor?
If you guys want to know about that, guys, because you know, so as a quick reminder to folks, you heard that the emperor of the Forex Empire there was an attempted assassination attempt, and his brother So both him and his brother are obviously ancient red dragons, these big dragons ruling an empire. Give me a history check, whoever would like to talk about it.
I need to know.
You would have advantage, Jake, because you are from the Forex Empire. You've never seen this person.
History?
Yes.
18.
18, good.
19.
19. You guys actually
Oh,
both have
11.
Yes? I said anyone who wants to roll it can roll it.
Okay, I got a 27.
Okay. So I'm actually going to answer for all three of you what you kind of know about this. Because I think they're kind of different things. I'm going to give the basic information for Victoria because you're
I'm
not
the least connected to this. I'm
least
just
connected.
curious.
You know the Forex Empire is a large area that used to rule not only the lands to the west of Eltz, the lands to the east of Eltz, the lands to the north of Eltz, most of the southern half of the continent.
Yeah.
They also used to control Eltz before it was broken free about, well, it's happened several times, but about 30 to 50 years ago.
50 years ago, Eltz broke free.
But you don't know much.
Territory. But was he an emperor 30 to 50 years ago? Was he a king?
About 25 years ago.
An emperor?
But you would know that people generally revere Venser, not fear. They genuinely think we have an ancient dragon who's a scholar and a wizard who runs our kingdom. We're so protected. But to your question of, has he ever conquered really much? You would be aware that the Forex Empire has dozens of colonies on islands around this hemisphere.
Was Minchima one of those?
Minchima used to be fully in control of the Forex Empire, but is
not anymore?
not technically. It is technically an independent state, though it does have a lot of, and with that history check, has a lot of Voruxi advisors to the people in charge there. A lot of people think it might be more of a vassal state than anything, as they did lose a war to the Vorux about 40 years ago.
Okay.
Thank you for filling in the history of the Forex Empire.
Well, hey, you guys, Jake asked.
That's fair.
But you would know that currently there's no tensions that you would know of that are strong between Eltz and the Vorex Empire.
I wouldn't
They
worry
trade
that,
regularly.
Necessarily, Forex Empire would want to take over Grand.
No, there's no recent expansions going on here. The Forex Empire has a positive relationship with the other main power, the Kingdom of Issel, which is in the northern half of the continent, and maintains friendly trade relations with Eltz.
Cool.
But with that, y'all want to continue heading along your way out of Galavon?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm very excited, guys. I have something today that, well, I'm gonna ask Connor to roll first because I have something that I really think is gonna show up. I'll give it a huge bracket on my table. But you all begin heading out of Galavon. What's your roll?
3.
Heading out of Galavon, you instead of taking the King's Road to the west, you begin taking the Mountain Way, which is just it's not the same level of refinement of the King's Road. It is a dirt and occasionally stoned path that leads to the north. You head northeast and then curving back to due north around Mount Shannon. So that means to the east, you can still see the bulwark, the big forest. And as you begin traveling a couple more hours, it's like 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. You guys have made, or probably actually more like 5 or 6, my apologies. But as you're continuing heading along, you see something that maybe you don't feel anything terrible about, but perhaps it sparks dread in one of your hearts as looking over this flat area that has become a little bit more of these kind of nice natural fields of not grain that you would want to harvest, but just natural longer grasses and similar plants. You see that it kind of arcs downward and descends into a small craggy area where the plates have torn apart somewhat. It gives a small cliff on the other side. There is a bridge that's about 20 feet across, made of stone. The bridge itself is very nice and actually has a stone archway, covers the front side, and has a wooden overpass that would protect those who were inside the bridge from rain.
Did she prepare grease today?
Silas, I can see the look on your face.
There's something else
No, I did not.
Look, I thought I was being slick.
Sitting atop a pile of about 9 of these large, mostly spherical boulders is a massive hill giant. You see this man He rests there. He's got a huge protruding forehead. This pasty, pink and white skinned hill giant, probably stands about almost 12 feet tall, is resting there. He's got a wide belt and what looks to be the remnants of what once might have been called a tunic. But on the other side, this bare skin, you can see just large red welts of just poor. This man has never lotioned his skin at any point. He's got thick layers of fat, rolling fat atop his flesh.
Same.
As hill giants, you guys learned last time, they gorge themselves because the larger they are, the higher up they are. But you see, he does have on his hip. There's one long piece of red cloth that matches that of the Eltzian guard. And as he sees all of you, he stands up atop his pile at attention somewhat. Like his hands are at his side and looks at all of you as you begin approaching. Are you slowing down as he raises his palm?
I think we should pause.
Pull up on the reins.
Raldor fully wakes up and begins eating something out of your bag.
Everything I have, I carry on me anyway.
Yeah.
It's probably alcohol.
It's true. It's probably that nice dwarven whiskey.
I'm not
Now you wait before we go cross the bridge.
What are we waiting for?
Do we need to pay the toll?
How long do we have to wait?
Small lady Rite, you pay toll before going.
So, like, what?
Gefto
Bread?
will do his duty.
Gefto, this huge hill giant, he reaches his feet over and steps down. He's descending about 6 or so feet because he was standing on top of this big pile. You can see now, look at the size of his hands. They're oversized for what a humanoid figure would normally be. He could probably wrap his palms around these boulders, which are individually about yay big.
Huh.
And as he looks down,
I have to do my duty as a... what did she say?
Where's the Vulpine?
Knight in training. It is my duty in Eltz to take the toll to pay more for the bridge.
She said, do you mind reminding me who she is again?
I didn't ask her name.
What does she look like?
Uh,
Got wings?
She was a small, like about a U,
Okay.
but she had nice armor. I couldn't fit into armor.
No.
Well, I suppose I could put it around my finger.
Did she have wings?
Oh no wing ladies have come around here. No, this one, I guess was more like, all your skins are smooth. She more like a lizard.
Ah.
Ugh.
you can see he starts like rubbing his forehead a little bit.
Gefto, think too much.
Oh, Gefto. Oh, no more thinking.
You're gonna give me the toll, and you're going to put your names in the ledger. Or you give me more than toll, and you don't have to put your names in my ledger.
How much is the toll?
He lets you know if you're putting your names in the ledger, it is 9 silver apiece.
Here's the gold.
Not ledger?
For not ledger, 20 gold each.
Can I insight check
Each.
to see how
Each.
well this?
9 silver each or 20 gold each.
Wait, we can.
Come on.
He wants a big sum.
What you want, little man?
Oh, no. Do I get to write my name myself? I'm quite the penmanship.
I can't write. The book's too small.
Then allow me. Give him the 9 gold and I start signing.
The nice rune lady told me, be nice.
Oh, you
watch as he
nice.
begins. He goes and hooks his foot over and begins crawling down the side of this ravine. Then just this thunderous sounds. You have here. You can hear. It takes him about 15 or so seconds to get down.
Can I write O'Brien Schneal?
Well, he's getting the book.
Ah, cool. Yeah, I'm gonna write O'Brien Schneal. He can't read, I think.
I'm gonna write a little air and draw.
Sus.
No. Wait, is this the bridge that we crossed? ages
No,
ago?
this is absolutely a different bridge.
Okay.
He comes back up, and you see now. There's what looks to be a a breastplate, like a full metal breastplate that is probably of the size of a badge that he's attached to his belt as he comes up. All right. You go and pay the squire and put your names in the book and have an excellent day as the 9 watch over you.
You have an excellent day too.
I'm going to practice my new skill of being able to write.
What does that mean? Excellent.
It's a joke. Like
Oh.
excellent, but with L.
Oh.
Jake's rubbing off on all of us.
As he laughs, you watch as like it tears a little bit the tunic as a bit of his belly kind of juts out a little bit. There is a ball of torn fabric and dirt in that man's belly button that is fully larger than a baseball.
We should teach him how to render
Zelda.
that.
Hey, I dare you to pull.
What's
the
her name,
dirt
is Zelda?
about her.
I don't know, Iselda.
I don't want to
When
touch
the
him.
lady comes
I don't want
back,
to touch him.
can you ask her?
I don't want to touch him with my mage hand. I don't want to do it.
Yeah, I could do that. Does she got scales?
Yes.
I would remind you that Iselda, her humanoid form was a human.
Oh,
Not
yeah.
Dragonborn.
So
He said rune lady, and I got excited.
we pay 9, we sign,
Yeah.
I like that. Can I have that?
keep it.
I will.
Discount?
Make a persuasion check.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That's a math. I rolled a math 0.
I rolled a natural 1, but so that's a 6.
Wait,
but-
did you both roll natural ones?
You don't get to know that. Oh, you
Yes,
do
you
get to
do.
know that. I rolled a natural 1.
I've rolled a few of those today.
No, our rolls have been.
Actually,
historically bad.
with a
Except
natural
mine.
1 for,
3-7.
you said persuasion? Oh, it's more than that, but anyway.
Well, we rolled the same.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, but don't give it to any other bridge giants. I gotta be the best one so I can become a rune lady.
Fair enough. All the other bridge giants I meet aren't giants. They're trolls. So
Oh, the trolls are the worst. You scare them away with a little torch. Ooh, fire!
I love this guy. What's your name, bro?
Oh, my name is Gefto.
All right, Gefto. Gefto,
So
I love
I'll
you.
pay the discount price, whatever that is, and when I sign, I'm gonna put Ralnor's name.
Oh my god.
Who's right, Ralnor?
Yeah.
Yeah, excellent. I need to know if anyone's putting their name in this book.
Can I
you really
actually
write
ask
my
for a
name?
quick
No.
like remember check?
What's up?
I want to try and remember the name of. The problem is I don't remember the guild. The guild that kind of sniped all of the Defiant
Ashen League.
Ashen League. Do we know the name of his the guild leader?
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You want to go ahead and write his name down? Make an intelligence check.
I think
That's so funny. That's a good throwback.
I've decided what I'm gonna.
An intelligence check?
Yeah.
What's an 18 get me?
Okay. You perfectly go and pen the name of the guild master of the Ashen League.
Oh, it's beautiful. I would get a little filatry in there.
Oh,
Filatry?
filigree.
You know,
Is Meanie? What are you writing?
I haven't decided yet.
not a
Elilie, what are you writing?
Prince Octavian Mudrest.
You have such pretty handwriting. I like the big swoop.
Thank you. It only befitting royalty.
You're a royal?
I don't know.
Oh.
Wait a second. Oh my god.
Your Majesty. I did not expect. I would have worn something that looks better if I had known Princess Josephine was coming all the way this way.
I think you look
I'm so sorry.
lovely.
Let me. Oh.
Aren't you proud of your kingdom? The princess herself paying taxes.
Oh my gosh. Oh.
We all.
You don't have to. Let me get your silver back.
No.
He like begins because he just when you handed him the money, he just tossed it into the ravine.
Yeah, you
I
princess
need
wants-
to start asking if people are princesses before charging them
the
taxes.
princess wants to pay taxes to see what it's like to live like the common
Only
folk
a
do.
good princess would pay taxes. Only bad princesses don't.
Princesses pay their taxes.
So if they say that they are a princess and then they don't pay their taxes, they're a bad princess.
Bad princess tax. Got it.
Hey, can I look down in that ravine?
Yeah.
Do you need a perception check?
No. What do you look? So what do you? Are you looking for something in particular?
I saw him throw money down there. How much money is
As you
down
peer
there?
down, There are hundreds of small sacks of coin. There's weapons. There's also human skeletal remains.
Okay, I'm looking. What's the shiniest thing I see down there?
Ooh, give me an actual perception. This is actually not perception for this. I need an. You said shiny. You have two choices. Literal, the shiniest object is perception. Something that looks the most valuable would be investigation.
Most valuable.
Okay, give me an investigation
How
check.
are you gonna get to the ravine?
And into the ravine.
Ooh,
To
5.
the ravine we go.
5. Kind of looking around, a lot of this is junk. Truly, it looks like what happens is that the taxes are payment for the giant,
Oh.
and by having him here, one thing that giants and trolls will do is often they'll repair these bridges. They'll work on this because they don't have to be very delicate to make a nice bridge. This bridge is much better maintained than any of the other ones you saw. This is nice. It's nicer than the road on either side, which is a little bit muddy on the other end.
Sure.
But nothing appears to be a great value. You could go in there and swipe bags of coin, but they're probably all relatively small sums. 9 silver is a lot. The alternative is you go up, take quite a long detour to get around here.
Silas, if you lean too far, you're gonna fall.
That's my stuff.
Oh, I'm afraid of heights. I'm throwing up.
I'm sorry, you're the princess's god? I don't know what I was saying.
I'll pay my 9 silver and write down Louisa Herringbone. I'm not that creative.
He doesn't blink at your signatures, as he cannot read.
He also doesn't know what
He
our
just
real
thought
names
you're.
are.
Huh?
Yeah.
He also doesn't know what our real names are. We
Correct.
didn't tell him our names. So.
He's not checking ID.
Me being Louisa
No.
Herringbone changes nothing.
That's fair.
So nice of you to join us, Louisa.
There's
Yeah.
some stuff down there you should go get.
All right, can I have my book back?
Yes.
Oh,
While
did
he's
you
watching
have
us?
sign?
The
No.
book?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
You said you were writing.
Yeah, I was writing it.
What'd you sign?
What'd you write?
I told you. I put Ralnor.
Oh, that's
Oh,
right.
that's
Yes.
fine. Sorry.
Is that
Wait,
one of the
wait,
words women taught you so you could
Did we
write
know
my pet?
until now that Thorn
I
can
bet
write?
He read like a third
Well,
grade
he
reading
taught me dwarven words.
Yeah, the R is backwards.
I like it.
I like it a lot.
That's how Ralnor would write his name as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. We're on the same level, intelligence-wise.
Just about.
This is what your signature looks like. I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure.
exactly.
Rounder.
Rounder, yeah.
That R is correct.
That's absolutely. Wait. Can I do this? This will. Yeah. Oh, I don't want to see those things.
All your notes.
Wait. Can I see those things?
Nope.
No,
Rounder.
no.
Wait,
Thank
time
you.
out.
For a brief moment, they can see it.
Yeah.
Did that
You're
say
welcome.
when he dies in a ball of fire?
Don't read my notes.
How'd you know what I was gonna do?
However,
You see, all right, well,
Joseph.
if you're ever looking for an additional night, I would be happy to service you. I will service you.
Do I see steam coming out of his ears? Like, is he
is
smoking?
so nervous. He's got a shaking hand.
I
From thinking so
am
hard.
pleased to have made your acquaintance today.
I am glad to be pleasing you.
Sweet princess, don't you have a handkerchief, a favor you could give him before we go?
I couldn't possibly.
Do I have anything in my pocket?
Maybe a page.
Lint.
Have a handkerchief.
Do you want to give him like
A napkin.
a small bit of cloth that you would carry to clean your hand?
Give him one of our 17 rugs.
No.
Give him your lint, because then you can add it to his collection.
Give him some cloth.
My what?
Nothing.
Oh, okay.
Your hoard, the veritable hoard.
Yes, I realize he's a little similar to Yosef.
Sorry.
No, it's amazing.
Anyways, please.
Would you like to do more work?
We cannot invite everyone.
I'm trying to get you to say it. More work, please.
I don't need more work.
I just need you to say it.
Good day, sir.
Let's go.
Good day to you as well.
He gives this huge bow, and as he does, his right hand touches one of the boulders, and it knocked him to his own. No! And
Goodbye, princess.
Bye, Gefto.
with that, you all begin heading your way further along the road, knowing that you'll have to soon make camp, as the next couple of hours are relatively uneventful. And with that, we're going to take a quick break. We come back. We're gonna just do a little bit. Have a little bit of camping.
Yeah.
Maybe have a little bit of a chat.
Fireside
Cooking.
chats.
All right. We'll be back in just a few minutes. Stay with us, and we'll see how our party gets along.
Be right back.
See you guys
You're
in a
back.
minute.
All right, we're back. Hey, everyone.
Hi.
So we just finished that toll over with maybe our new friend.
Yeah.
Good job, Princess. I really do appreciate what you did there. Heading north further from Galavon, you know you're making your way closer and closer to Carthholm. However, it is going to end our travels for the day. You are going to want to make camp soon. It's in the evening. The sun is down. The Morning Lord's light has left until it returns once more in about 12 hours. You probably want to find somewhere to camp, and if someone would like to be in charge of finding a place that's relatively safe or has there's nearby food or things you can forage for, it would be a survival check.
I mean, I've gotten lost in the forest before.
Sure.
There you go. Yeah, look for a high ground.
Silas, if you'd like to.
Dry.
Sure.
Do we want the guy who gets lost in the forest to make?
That's actually a really good point and kind of thematic because I only got a. What's an 8 get me?
Okay. We often will do DCs that change by 5s, so it's not horrible. What you kind of looking around, luckily it was a clear day and this night hasn't been terribly rough in any way, but you find a relatively clear path and you just suggest to the party for taking a bit of a break here. You have what supplies you've brought with you, including a small, a tent is probably the wrong word for what you've made.
There's a bunch of rugs kind of strung together.
It's almost an awning. I think what you'd bring to maybe some people would bring to a beach because they're not as fun. Where there's these 4 spokes you can dig into the ground and a canvas that goes on top where you can put your bedrolls underneath. Additionally, you can put out a campfire for those of you who are on watch. Watch 1, 2 people, and watch 2 the other then. Great. I'm gonna go ahead and make a quick change to our music.
And I'm gonna set up perimeter alarms as
Really?
I do. They're gonna be noisy alarms so everybody can hear and it's not just in his meanie's head.
We're not visible from the road, right? I feel like we'd maybe not want to camp on the
I don't
side.
think we'd be able to catch any food if it was that close to the
Yeah.
road.
If you'd like to make a stealth check for the party, I'm gonna give you disadvantage because of that survival roll being pretty low.
Fair.
Oh, you?
I can do it.
Sure.
If we're, it's fine. I'll just roll it.
Let me turn up this. I don't know if the campfire
It's going to be 13. There's a 9 on the die.
13? All right, you guys go a little bit further from the road. It's pretty flat where you're at. And so it's not great, but if you keep putting a couple of stones around the fire to keep it somewhat obscured in the direction of the road, you're okay, it seems. But setting up the fire, the folks who are at watch, probably about 10 or 15 feet away from the sleeping party so they can still talk in a quiet voice. You can be a little further even, but you're certainly able to get to your friends with relative ease. Silas, as a quick reminder, there are penalties if you sleep in your armor, so I'm assuming you're de-armoring before bed.
I forgot it was finished. Actually, wait, it was finished?
It was finished.
You're right.
Right before we went fishing.
Can you not look while I derobe? I forgot to.
We all
put it on.
collectively turn around.
Everyone cover your eyes.
Look, it was my first time in this.
Honestly, cover your ears. You don't want to hear the trunks. Oh, I don't know what that was, but I didn't like it.
No,
He forgot to oil his armor.
and something else.
You take a bit of time. You establish your alarms around the campsite. You make that little barricade to protect from the road. Cover up some of the flames there.
Someone stops Gwynwyn from cooking.
Yeah.
Gwynwyn is stopped from cooking somehow.
Railnor ate all of her food.
Roundlore is fully asleep. Roundlore's getting his solid 18 hours a day.
Where's my
Right.
bag?
It's his sleeping bag.
No, where's my bag? Not.
You're talking about the bag you brought with the extra supplies and snacks?
Yeah.
Empty.
Cool.
The bag was been eaten though, so there's pieces of it.
Okay, so
There are little scales of
There
shithead in it.
What was in the bag?
There are
No.
no little shithead scales.
I've got a
It's in
question.
the shed.
I'm assuming that he brought alcohol, knowing him. Was Railnor buzzed? Was Railnor buzzed? Did we get a
Rumler
baby
certainly
salt?
ate the bottle.
That was
You don't know how much of it just dripped in through the cracks, but
That explains why the wagon.
That was
smells
cooking
like vodka.
brandy.
Ralnor seems normal.
it was for dinner.
You're gonna make something with brandy?
Yeah. I was gonna saute some stuff in brandy and make something nice for you guys, but
Can you saute stuff?
Want to make a quick luck check?
You could
I don't-
deglaze.
I'm
Yes,
sorry.
You would cook something and then you would deglaze with something acidic like brandy.
You all taking it at a time. Eventually, Ismini and Silas, you're able to head to bed and get some rest this evening. And we have the two of you here, our two elven characters. You have the evening is a bit cool as winter has only just begun to slumber until later this year. The moon itself is just shy of full this evening. The fire itself crackles and spits, but is small and not too loud where you feel like there's any particular danger to it.
I got a stick. I'm just breaking off little twigs and chucking it into the fire.
Couple little
I bet I could
sparks.
firebolt higher up in the air than you can.
What's firebolt?
It's for you. Throw fire? Magic?
I don't know how to do that.
I thought Never mind.
I can move shit with my mind.
Honestly, it's cooler in many ways.
I can hold it up there and you can shoot it out of the air.
Okay, let's try.
Just hold it up.
Yeah, I like try to fire.
I move it right as she shoots it.
Okay, here's what we're gonna do. So you can do one of two things. I will give.
Sorry, we're trying to be stealthy and you're shooting fireballs.
That's
into
literally
the
what
air.
I'm thinking. I made a self roll. Fireball.
I know. I'm not telling my players what they can and can't
You
do
put
because
the
they're.
two chaotic characters.
We're duck hunting.
What are you throwing up into the sky?
It's just like a big stick.
You get some of the kindling that that maybe Silas maybe gathered
Yeah, like a
before
log,
bed.
like a
You grab,
small log. Yeah.
And you, big as you can carry with that mage hand, and you toss that up into the air.
Oh,
Make
you're
an
not
attack roll.
catapulting it?
Oh,
You wanna
maybe I'll do
catapult
that.
it?
I'll catapult it as she.
Nice.
Spell
Okay.
slot, or is that cantrip?
Now
Come on.
he's making it harder to hit. It's a low AC, but you're giving disadvantage on this attack roll because he is shooting this away.
That's going to be an 11.
This is a piece of wood. Is that correct? It shatters into pieces. Not center mass, but as you strike it in the air, it bursts into sparks, and the red sparks begin falling to the ground, the grass around you. You all take a couple minutes, maybe stamp out some little fire.
I'm like, yeah, you missed one over there. I didn't do anything. Stamp it out.
I like prejudice.
Yeah.
Ralnor kind of sneaking out from under Ismini's arm, comes over and sits at your feet. Kind of looking up at you briefly, Laurentius, and then putting its head down, resting some of its shithead scales on your boot. Friendship.
What? Why does this thing like me?
I have no idea what Ralnor is, and frankly, I'm scared of them. So,
I don't. It doesn't shit. It doesn't shed.
but it eats everything.
Eats everything.
Doesn't
gotta
seem
come
to
out
hurt
sometime.
Magically. Maybe it'll blow up one day. Who knows?
Ralnor rolls onto his back with his big fat belly.
You know what?
He's very cute.
You're right. It's a ticking time bomb. It was born by an explosion, and yeah, that makes sense to
You
me.
can say that about people, though. To be
I don't
fair.
think people explode very often when they go out naturally.
Naturally. That's always doing a lot of work for you there. Actually, Thorn, real talk, do you not want to use the Velvet Vulpine? Weren't you looking for someone?
Yeah.
I'm
I don't know where to start.
I would
to
say
be
I'm
honest.
not trying to pry, but I'm absolutely trying to pry. So
I know you need to know the name, but I don't know how far away she is. I don't know where. The last information I got was that she was in Eltz at some point, but that was a few years ago.
my understanding, and I might be wrong, is that magic is usually incredibly particular, but also not. Like, if the person that you're looking for is close to you, and you know them in a way, and have a connection that few other people have, if you're related, if you're really good friends, something like that.
See, I think that's the only
It's
connection is that we are related.
Still a connection. Hey,
Sure.
magic's all about connections. You could. There's no harm in trying. We have a few days to travel.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you rather know?
I don't see the harm in trying.
Well, just don't tell anyone I bullied you into it.
Who's being bullied?
Ralnor, for sure.
He is a bully.
Now, if you shoot one up, I swear I can get it center this time.
Tell you what, how about I throw this guy up?
If
Bigger target.
If Nini gets mad at me, she can call my mom's, and that's scary. So I would prefer not to set her beloved pet on fire.
Fair enough. Thought you were more of a troublemaker, but whatever.
I'm a troublemaker until like actual authority gets involved. Like I've just been pretending I have diplomatic immunity this whole time.
Kind of do.
I think I do.
Well, you use it a lot.
I've gone this far.
Fair enough.
The rest of your watch goes off without a hitch, though Laurentius, for a moment, you think it's getting a little bit colder. You feel a slight chill along your spine as you realize there's more airflow in one of your boots than there was before. And as you look down, there's a small hole that's been nibbled in the side of your boot.
He loves your fancy shoes.
They were.
That one you could expense to Asmini for sure.
I'm going. He's still asleep.
He's still absolutely asleep.
HR expense doc.
You start moving, he snuggles in harder.
He's fireproof. I'm just saying.
Do you think his meanie would know if I buried him?
You buried him? Okay. I will look this direction for 2 minutes. But if Raunor sounds like Raunor is hurt, I'm going to turn around.
I'll leave a breathing tube.
Okay, 2 minutes. Go.
You magically begin digging a hole.
Yeah.
Are you gonna beach him?
Yeah, sure.
Can we make it like
Ralnor
more-
doesn't wake up. Ralnor's super sleepy at this point. And just slumbers as you dig the hole and you put this baby
El-
in the hole. You put his puppy
El,
in the ground.
do you have like a pen, a quill, something to write
Yeah,
with?
of course.
Can I draw a mustache on Ralnor?
You take some ink and you draw a little mustache on his little lizard face and bury him in the dirt.
Can we make
His head popping out.
Take a twig and make him look like he's a mermaid tail.
Excellent. Sure. About halfway through the night, you go to
statue
relieve yourselves of duty and wake up.
Leave him there.
Is Mimi and Silas,
Oh no!
and the two of you are able to begin sitting down. Though I imagine you might notice this before they're actually finally asleep. Is Mimi.
I'm waiting.
Ralnor is.
Oh no, revenge is best served cold.
I'm fully pretending to be asleep, even if you call my name.
I'm snoring.
I'm in the dirt,
I did
scooping it
nothing wrong.
away to get him out so he doesn't get crushed by the weight of the dirt on his little rib cage.
He's got a big curly mustache.
Barely under.
I'm gonna leave the mustache.
Okay, I see how it is.
So, I'm just gonna say it. Revenge is best served cold. Get even.
But I don't know how.
Why do you think I'm here to help?
Okay.
Oh, it's our little
Pick her up.
No. Would you like to be picked up?
Coco emote when.
Ralnor. Oh boy.
Ralnor already has an emo.
Here we go. Okay, good job.
There's not many.
Hello, I'm Coco. I want you to hold me, but also I'm going to try to leave in 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Okay, but her little paws on your hand make me so happy.
All right. Is there anything the two of you want to talk about during your time here at the campfire?
I mean, I have a
So,
question. Go first.
babysitter to babysitter.
Gwynwyn is snoring with Ililier. There's a harmony.
We're in
You can
unison.
see the beginning of a new wrinkle on an elephantine face. Elephant?
I feel like I've already had enough adventures for a lifetime, and I would love for my biggest worry to be if my dress matches my shoes. At this point,
It's been start to finish ever since.
It's been constant. It's like, oh, we're gonna take a break. Okay, we'll take a break because you burnt your arms off. Okay, great, wonderful.
No, imagine how I feel. I was supposed to escort sweet little Gwenny and Oswald to the city, and now
Gwynman
one's
goes
dead.
And Gwynman murders somebody like the first time we fight people.
Look, I had never seen her throw a fireball until we hit that road, and now I swear to God, it's every day.
It's every day, I know.
Every day.
I was just like, okay, not only am I gonna fight people who are bad, but I'm gonna just fight people for fun. I'm gonna get up on a
A
table.
dwarven woman sits up 90 degrees, turns aside, and collapses once more. Fully asleep, mind you.
And then Elle's like, not only am I gonna fight people that are bad, but I'm gonna fight for fun in my spare time. Just like go
Right?
get up on a table in a bar and fight somebody.
How could you face your sister? I'm so sorry.
I didn't know what to do because
I
it's like, hey, dear sister, who's in the charge of the family, who's like, hey, let's just come visit after you send a strongly detailed multiple rounds of sending.
I gotta make this bigger.
And you just say, hey,
I just want to get more. You have more. Go and get your feelings.
And it's just like, yeah. Oh, by the way, sister, I know that we both left Issel with no word, and now we're over here, and let me just send you a message saying, hey, we thought a necromancer and elf burnt herself to a crisp.
On that note, you are not going to let her go to the Tournament of Blades, are you?
Okay, here's the thing. If I don't, I personally, I have a very short lifetime in the grand scheme of things, and that short time will be made all the worse by hearing about it every single day for the rest of it.
Ismini, did you have an option, a job path, a career path? Was this a choice?
When I was 4 years old, I was taken to go meet a small, precious, innocent little baby, swaddled and sleeping.
Oh.
It didn't last long, did it?
Then she started crying.
You see, in your mind's eye, once more, there you are, a small, this delicate little pink dress that you're wearing, of just this little tiny Ismini holding a baby, your mother kneeling in front of you, helping support, and there's a pair of these women who are looking down to you, beaming as you meet this small baby. She has just tiny little tufts of hair, some of them blonde, some brown, and this little baby girl kind of looks up at you. You're 4 years old. The loud sounds from the tournament that's going on off in the distance, you barely hear them. You recognize that these two women, Delilah and Cestus, the mother of this child, are telling you a little bit about her, but you just see her look up at you, and she just reaches a hand out at you, and you just...
A little shake.
You shake her hand, and you're back in this, like... As you're kind of reminiscing on this, what is on your face? Because Silas doesn't see this. This isn't an illusion.
I look like I look right now. I'm just smiling.
I mean, when you put it like that, you make it seem like it was all worth it.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Being told that your primary goal in life is to make sure that somebody lives a good life and is safe and comfortable and happy. I imagine that you have similar feelings, but I was, I've known my entire life that this is what I'm supposed to do.
When you said that, the first thing I thought was, did that leave room for you to have a good life if you're focused on her? And I realized that I might have a tendency to focus on others first. I think that is my good life, and I'm already living it. What about you? Do you think you're living the good life?
I think that my only regret was not packing more food on our way to Eltz.
We're all narrated all. Oh, no, to Eltz.
To Eltz.
Oh, I thought you meant already. No, I could see it. I've never met someone who didn't know the price of bread.
Right. It has been quite the learning experience. I think it was good. I think it was a good.
Oh, she's definitely grown.
Ultimately, yeah.
It's nice to see
I've
them
had some
grow,
fun.
right?
Yeah,
I say it's nice to see them grow, but I'm just thinking back to Gwenny creating life and then destroying it 5 minutes later.
that was horrifying, and I loved it.
Everything.
I loved it.
I'm going to give Gwen another nightmare about that.
She's lucky to have you.
I think that Gwynwyn's lucky to have you.
I hope you do more things for yourself too.
You too. You should take an entire day off. Just go paint.
Gwynwyn would die.
Okay, let's take turns.
Do you want to trade?
Babysitters Club.
Do you want to trade for
We're
it?
gonna have the babysitters club, and what we're gonna do is I can take over for a day. Like, you have a full day to yourself, do whatever you want, and then you can take over for a day.
They didn't ask
Look,
me.
the only thing I'm worried about, who's watching Thorn?
He seems to have got him. He's sorted. He's fine. Everybody watches Thorn.
Everybody watches Thorn. Sweet boy.
Sweet boy.
You know, I don't know much about magic. He seems different from you. Why?
I don't actually. This is embarrassing, but I have no idea.
And you haven't tried to pick his brain? Figuratively.
Okay, thank you for clarifying. That doesn't hurt.
Pull out
any.
cobwebs.
No!
No. Okay. So listen. When I first met you guys, it was kind of like, hey, I need to protect Elle. I don't know who you guys are. So all this weird stuff's happening. And I'm like, I don't know this guy well enough to grill him on what he's doing. And now it's kind of been too long.
How did you grow to trust him? He seems like the strangest one of us all.
Every single person that we're traveling with has put themselves in harm's way for another person.
It's fair.
Easy choice.
Except that time I kind of left him to die. Oh, shit.
Just
Shut up, Ralnor.
wow. You wake up and just
Yeah, just
Yeah,
yelling
you
at
go
them.
to sleep.
Shut
go back
up.
to sleep. Yeah. But you just hear off in the distance howling at the moon, just wolves, but far. It's the wilderness. It's not unexpected, and you have flame and magic.
Yeah, a lot of
Yeah.
magic.
I'm just waiting to hear if any of the perimeter alarms go off.
Yes, I am aware of those.
We're good for now.
You're good for now. So, if you're not going to stop her, how are you going to help her win the Tournament of Blades?
So I won quite a lot of money. I can get quite a lot of spells.
That's
I can
true.
learn quite a lot of spells. I can cast quite a lot of spells. I cast quite a lot of spells on Elle. Elle wins the tournament. Easy.
It sounds like you're trying to win the tournament.
Cast them on Elle.
I don't know much about the tournament. Is it groups? Is it pairings? It's
Historically, it never makes sense because they do different things depending on the whims of whoever's organizing the tournament. But there's groups, there's solo. This one time, people have won entire roles in the kingdom, formative roles by things as simple as games, and other times by like epic showdowns. So,
it almost makes me miss home, where all I had to worry about was hunting for food.
and keeping Elle from falling out of trees.
And Gwynwyn.
Yeah,
Short
If
arms.
She
but
can get up
climb.
them, she can get down them just fine. But I'm still afraid she's gonna fall and break an arm.
If it makes you feel any better, I was worried about her burning the entire forest down.
Oh, you know what? That's actually fair. I'm wondering why I'm seeing little burnt patches of grass, but
As mom and dad commiserate about their children,
We could go all night.
I know we could.
we get mad amounts of sibling and parental energy, and just eventually you're able to complete your night's rest. No exhaustion, no threat of death tonight.
Oh yay.
We have a little bit of food that you're able to actually, because you have trail rations and stuff, you're able to get on the road. Crack of dawn, anybody?
Well, we would have had more.
It's
Ralnor is now trying to walk alongside, but he's too slow to walk alongside,
As the
or too lazy maybe to walk alongside.
So here's the problem with Ralnor. I would love to put him in a little harness.
I was
Maybe
wondering.
Bjorn.
You did say you wanted to buy a baby Bjorn over the time, but he's a little big for that.
And
Right.
time
Is he getting
to
bigger?
tree and leave them, right?
No.
Oh.
and
Is that what
like-
happened to you as a child?
Wait. Is
No,
Ralnor
you
getting
know what
bigger?
happened.
Oh.
I had a lovely childhood, actually.
In the inn?
In the beginning,
In the beginning.
he was the most well-adjusted child.
Hey guys, I woke up and I just realized,
This guy.
do any of us have middle names?
I only have a first name.
You should get more.
Space?
It's Space. Do you have a middle name?
Rose.
Yeah, like there's a space in between my first and my last name.
Is Ralnor getting bigger?
I would like you to make me this would be a nature check.
Okay, DM, while she's doing that, I've got a
Or
question.
investigation, excuse me.
How small of an entrance can you have to a pocket dimension?
21.
Depends on how you make it. I can't answer that question.
Ralnor He poops
Is
into he poops into a pocket dimension.
That
Has
explains the
anybody?
bag of
Has
holding
no one
you
been
have
checking the
on
bag of holding?
21.
Is that what that
21.
smell is?
Looking, Ralnor is growing. Ralnor is probably about 3.5 inches longer, like toe to tip, like nose to tail. But he's still so about this long and about this tall. But he's stocky a little bit, a little bow-legged.
It's because I planted it.
Oh, like a baby.
Oh.
He got the nutrients. He
Oh,
grew.
wait.
Guys, he's a plant.
Ralnor like begged us last night to like bury him, so I think it's like a new thing that he's into.
May I?
Oh, you want to make a deception versus insight? I'm gonna give you disadvantage, Lily.
Fine.
Oh my god.
It's gonna be 11 for me.
10.
You watch. No. So remember, deception is not mind control.
Right.
You watch as Lilia looks you in the eyes and says something absurd, but there's no hint on her face.
There isn't a hint of a lie, but
But
it's
you know that
definitely
Ralnor
absurd.
is effectively like a dog in terms of intelligence that you've seen. Maybe a little smarter and able to stab through stone walls and walk alongside them, but
I assume he didn't hit it too much if he wasn't freaking out.
he was asleep. He didn't wake up
Yeah.
the whole time.
I don't know that. I don't know how the hell. I don't know how they got him in the ground.
Ralnor's actually, he is able to at times come and jog alongside your horse because you're just walking, you're not running.
And he's
Will
in
he eat
He
the
picks
horse?
her
wood.
Yeah, he's about as fast as L. So
Did you
he's
say he ate a horse?
Will he eat the horse eventually?
Here's the thing: we need to get a harness. But I think he's gonna eat the harness. That's my problem. I want to keep him out of stuff. Like
Time
I
out.
don't want him to keep eating things.
Well, he didn't eat Thorn's bag, so whatever material that's made out of.
Why don't you
Uh,
get in the saddle instead?
He ate part of the bag
And my shoe.
and his shoe. So I need.
You
to-
got your big toe hanging out.
But here's the thing: if we put him in a kennel, he's just gonna eat through the kennel. If I put a harness on him, he's gonna get annoyed and bite the harness. So I really don't. I don't know. Okay.
So obedience training is what it sounds
Yeah,
like.
basically, Ismini
Are
is now
you
in
be-
the full throes of a nervous breakdown because she hates the fact that she hasn't been able to stop Ralnor from eating literally everything.
Hey, you obedience trained me for many years.
Yeah, look how she turned out.
You weren't eating people's shoes.
We also didn't see each other.
You don't know
full-time
that.
until a
Right.
few years ago. So
Yeah, I mean,
you got a break.
how much is bread?
3 copper pieces if it's a little bit nice. Thank you.
Growth.
Thank you. Thank you.
Character growth.
Character growth.
Thank you.
Right. All right.
For a piece of bread.
Heading on
You
out.
should never run a bakery.
You
Don't
all
plan on it.
continue on your way north. You can still actually this morning see the moon itself up in the skies. There's the skies are blue. You do notice there's a hint of that dark. The mists are able to be seen by a slightly darker silhouette around where the moon itself is, partially obscured as it always is. Continue making your way towards Carthholm. You know it's going to be so you have a couple options, and I need to check here. Are you traveling at a fast pace, which lowers your passive perception, a normal pace, or a slow pace, which allows you to use stealth?
Are we trying to be
I
stealthy?
think
I don't
normal.
think
like
normal-
we don't
yeah.
have any reason
We're not in
to
a rush.
rush,
We're not going
and we
slow.
don't have
Yeah.
a reason to be.
If you
worried.
rush, you could get to Carthholm today. Otherwise, you'll be camping out and arriving Carthholm tomorrow around noon.
That's fine.
Are we behind schedule? I had an entire
No.
itinerary. Or is it?
No,
Today on the
everything's been
itinerary
fine.
you put look at forest, so we're definitely gonna check off that box.
I don't have a lot of opportunities to get this kind of a scenery, and I would like to paint it.
You have your sketch itinerary for like what sketches you need to make done.
Yes, and for some reason, Thorn keeps doodling on it.
He learned to write. Let him
I
explain.
mean, don't leave your stuff
Wait,
out.
that was writing? That was writing?
I forgot to give this, by the way. Silas and his meeting. Excellent job last night.
Thank
It
you.
said,
Everyone did great.
I wrote it in Dwarvish for you, a special message.
Oh my god, I don't know Dwarves well enough to know if he's lying.
Bad
So I know.
handwriting meets not fluent.
You don't know any Dwarvish, correct?
I know how to speak it.
Oh, you've learned a little bit. That's right. You work with Gwynwen, so
Yeah.
you can know some basic Dwarvish characters.
I remember
Sure.
he taught me a dirty word when I thought
He
it was
did.
a nice word.
All right.
You taught
I believe I have to ask Connor next to roll me a d20 as we continue along the road.
6.
Nice.
6.
No, not an insult.
I need one
love
more
low
roll,
ones.
and ideally it's below an 11. Give me another roll.
Another one?
Yeah.
Do it.
Oh my god.
Do it. I want to do it.
19. Sorry.
I want
Okay.
to be punished. Or whatever it was that was gonna happen, it was bad.
No.
I wanted it to
Don't
happen.
clip that.
Continuing,
I don't know.
Damn it, you guys!
continuing along the
Guess what's gonna happen?
Continuing along the way, you're heading north. The road gets a little bit nicer as maybe there are more folks. Yeah, take that drink. Road gets a little bit nicer. The terrain itself, not rolling hills like it was west of the mountains, but you see that where you are is at the base of these slowly increasing peaks as you're going up. For now, they're still like you could easily travel over them in a couple of hours.
So we're
But
not
you're-
at a point that it's starting to get chiller out, is it?
It's not been chilly here at all. But where you are, you can see looking far to the north, like on the horizon, some of the one of the mountains actually has a little bit of an ice topper on it, an ice cap, but it's not major. This isn't a huge snowy mountain. Where you are with spring here is just there was snowfall recently, and it's in the process of melting and become this more dark brown with these large patches of greenery on them, where there's these thin grasses that grow up in high altitudes. But where you are is at the base of all this. It's still relatively warm. You're shielded from the major winds that were coming in from the west, and so it's your place that's relatively even temperature, relatively pleasant. Though as you continue along this road, you see trotting a quartet of white horses along the way. You both can see your wagon and this carriage, this fancy, but the four horses are pulling a beautiful carriage that has been painted. You see there are a collection of colors on it, but it's primarily reds and blacks, and then brown from the wood itself, which is polished and fine. Silver ornamentation on the side next to the actual carriage driver. The carriage is closed, and you can't see the side of it, so you can't tell for sure. Likely there's windows, and maybe there's windows, but there's definitely doors on the side of this carriage. Right now, there's no way you guys could pass each other evenly. You're about 100 feet ahead, so that there's not an immediate danger. Ismini has the reins.
Are we pulling to the side or?
Does this look like upper nobility carriage or merchant carriage?
What kind of check would this be? Let's see here. I'm gonna say history.
All right.
And I'm gonna use your background feature to give you advantage.
Ooh la la.
Oh my goodness. 15.
15.
No.
This looks to be a relatively nice, though not overly ostentatious, because you notice the lack of gold filigree here.
My high roll was a 7.
But this looks like a very nice carriage. It's pretty well maintained. It doesn't look like it's got a lot of use. It might be new. And you would assume this is someone who's pretty well off, possibly a noble or a merchant of some renown.
I'm feeling non-confrontational today. Like, I just don't want to get into a fight with anybody. And there's no way for us to pass each other on this road.
No, one of you just need to pull over for just a little bit.
I'm not feeling like getting into a game of chicken with another carriage. I'm just gonna pull over a little bit. I am.
Pull over and stop.
I'm gonna glare daggers,
Yeah.
Hey, El.
Oh.
but
What's up?
I dare you to lay in the road and damsel in distress this.
What is this chaos
To what-
goblin shit
To
going
what
on?
end?
Ah,
money.
You staring at the
I'm looking.
carriage driver?
I'm not
can
glaring,
get in
but
trouble.
I'm watching.
With a small black vest. There is this. It's hard to place at first what sort of creature this is, but then a few moments later you do catch it. This is a this strong but relatively lithe individual is a dwelf, a male.
12.
What? Now I'm watching with the most interest I've had in my entire life.
We haven't seen many 12s.
Yeah.
Well, we've seen some.
How's it
but
spelled? D-I-L-F?
The only 12 you really know is
DW.
your brother's charge.
EL.
This
Can I not spell?
that's Dilf. Not a Dilf. Well, maybe a Dilf. Who knows? But you see this
Something you want to
the
tell us?
carriage driver calls up. Oh, come now. Calm now. And the horse pulls back on the reins, and the horses come over to the side. They go a few feet past, so that you're he's a little bit past you, but able to still see you. Comes to a stop. Oh, hello. It was terribly kind of you. How are you all doing on this day?
Doing great. How are you?
We are doing well. The roads have been safe in our travels on this day. Making your way to Carthholm. Have you encountered any difficulty?
Other than if you're heading in the direction of Galavon and Eltz, there is a bridge giant.
Stuart! Why have you stopped? Over on the side, you see this window with these curtains open up, and this woman with hair that goes out about yay big, this human woman wearing a yellow dress, very deep cut, with this incredibly thick curls. Well, who knows if it's real hair, very large hair. Looks up, Stuart! For what purpose have we Oh. What are you doing? Is this some sort of robbery?
Discussing the state of the road, milady.
Oh. Given your polite tone, your general manner of dress, a kindred upperborn traveling here on the roads. It's nice to make your acquaintance.
You're holding the reins. Like, wonderful
It
to meet
is
you too.
charming to see that you drive your own cart.
Naturally. Why would I not?
Well, there's no problems then? No brigands harassing you on the road?
No, we were just discussing the bridge troll. Or giant, sorry. If you're heading in the...
Ugh, disgusting things. Can you believe the audacity of them to not just have, well, proper stonemasons brought in to keep charge over our bridges?
I think
Well,
if
I
maybe
mean,
the royalty paid higher taxes, maybe then they would be able to afford that.
And it's true. that
Taxation is a delightful bit of gamery for individuals who are able to navigate it and avoid paying undue burdens.
all you'll need to
Talking
do
about
when you...
tax affront?
All you'll need to do when you get there, if you're heading in the direction of Eltz, is provide a 30 gold payment for your carriage to pass, and you'll be good to go.
A pittance. Well, since you are so kind as to advise me in this way, do note that there is a cobbler in Carthholm who could make sure that your boots match your dress.
Can I cast prestidigitation from where I'm like lying in the thing, in the cart?
You know what to do. You're gonna make a sleight of hand check.
Because you do go...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
I
I'm
don't know if this is I don't always let this happen, but in this case, yes, because this woman is very clearly only really looking at what looks to be a fellow nobleman.
It's not good.
Your servants have an interesting manner of dress. Why do they not wear your colors?
Oh, my friends are all from different places across the lands.
Ah,
Yeah. Mercenaries, rough and tumble.
Yeah.
Do you not see the armor?
Would you like to tell
chatty, aren't they?
We all
Itchy,
are.
aren't
What was your
they?
sleight of hand?
13.
13 is just barely passed. What did you cast?
I'm going to create a harmless sensory effect.
The best kind of sensory effect.
A horrible fart sound erupts from this noble woman.
My lady.
Oh my!
Prunes this early in the morning.
Stuart! This creak in this chair is...
You're not even sitting.
Now listen, you little
I was going.
No.
gankily dressed... Excuse me?
What? You should pay your taxes.
I'm a servant of her house.
I want to make her feel self-conscious, so I'm going to mind link with her and start just kind of whispering like, is that hair real? Why is her dress so low cut? It's a little uncomely.
Well, if you are a servant of her house, perhaps it would be best for you to advise her to find someone who could fix whatever ailment is causing the problems with her hair.
Hopefully you can figure
Clash. It is a common thread between the two of you.
Stuart, do you need a job?
No, ma'am. I'm very happy with where I am.
Great.
You sure?
No. Okay, don't push it. Don't push it. I'm gonna...
The Marin's Fort has been a lovely place to live.
Wonderful. Marin's Fort?
This is going to ring a bell to you, as the Marin's Fort is the keep and surrounding town to the east of Dunsmith.
Does this kind of line up with the type of people that come from there? Her her
Give me
demeanor?
give me a history check with advantage, but use charisma. So it's a charisma check. And if are you proficient in history?
No, I'm not.
This is just going off of his word of mouth that we've done this a couple times.
So do I just add
So
my
just
charisma?
add your charisma.
Okay, 18.
18. So you know that the Marin's Fort is like it's a castle. It's a military installation that eventually became a small town, a small city. It's over near Dunsmith, a little bit further down the river. There's a river that leads from the Murloc Mountains through Dunsmith, through the fort, and eventually hitting the Wanara River, which leads to Eltz. But what I can tell you, the big thing is that you know that the Marins, who used to be the nobles there, unfortunately their line ended as they didn't have an heir. And one of the local merchant families kindly claimed the title. And so now this is presumably Lady Seatonbury, who would be the noblewoman in charge there. You do not know her husband's, or not her husband, rather, her father's name.
So does she have a reputation for kind of being a little bit...
She's young. She's probably mid-20s, but shrewd, and you see now just this angry-looking woman here. She does not seem very kind here. I have to make my way to the city now. We don't have much time to simply stop and bicker with the other travelers. I have a courtship to attend to.
Oh, I thought you would have wanted to chat noblewoman to noblewoman. Who are you seeing?
Oh, why, of course. The king is looking for another love after the loss of his first two wives.
Why do you ask you
Tragic.
that?
Who are you bringing to betroth to him?
Oh my god, bitch.
I never! Stuart!
Oh,
Give us...
you're bringing Stuart.
I could see
Stuart,
it.
you have a great chance.
I hope your stomach's settled.
She can't see Stuart. Stuart is sitting on the front. You've seen a carriage before. He's sitting up. He's just like looking at this.
Can somebody give him some money?
You tried giving him a job.
Yeah.
He's like apologizing as quietly as he can. Stuart, we should go. These rude hooligans claiming nobility when instead we know nothing more than mud runs through their
Should go.
veins.
It's getting a little shrill over here, so...
Stuart, before you go, it looks like your wheel is a little
That's
bit...
not what I meant, and you know it.
Well, if I hope you find your real hair.
Oh my god.
You wound her so very deeply.
Stuart, before you go, it looks like one of your wheels is loose. Do you mind if I tighten it? I'm a carpenter.
Stuart, why aren't we moving, Stuart?
It's quite dangerous on this road. It would be...
Are you trying to deceive him, or are you just being like? Are you okay with
you
him
don't
knowing?
want
what
Going
it
like
is?
this.
We don't want to
Wink.
screw Stuart over. If you break it, he's gonna have to fix it. And so I would just rather give him some money and hope that he can get away.
I assumed he was going to give him some money.
Yeah.
fair.
I'm gonna give
some
Stuart 10 gold.
Jesus Christ.
There's no need. I will be fine, milady.
Consider it the taxes she didn't pay.
If I'm found with that, I will be in great trouble.
Oh, if you need us, we're the Defiant Smiles and Eltz.
You call you say that you're Defiant Smiles. You hold a badge out now that the window's closed here.
If you need something, we're a guild. Find us. We'll be back in a few days.
Okay.
She's turning into me.
Stuart's like,
No,
I'm
I think
terribly
if you
sorry.
lead
It
the
would
way-
seem that my madam no longer wishes to converse with you. I hope that you have safe travels, and may the nine bless your travels.
Thank you.
It's a shame.
Did you know about the king looking for a new wife?
No. I didn't chat with the prince about his parental situation.
Oh,
We
this
didn't
was
talk
Silas
about his
asking at this
dad.
meeting.
Yeah, I know that's what I'm saying. I'm feeling sassy today after that. He needs a little more Victoria than normal.
I hate nobles like that. They're the worst.
Right.
You hear just on the way, Stuart, I can't believe you let me talk to some ruffians like that.
So they're not all like that?
No.
I mean, just me and her, I guess.
You got cool parents.
I do have cool moms. That's true.
Why are you so afraid of them?
Oh.
I'm not afraid of them.
Then why don't you talk to them more?
We could talk about it at the next campsite.
Yeah. Let's just
we
bookmark
need to have
that
a nice pot of rabbit stew and have a conversation, I think.
Rabbits.
Yeah. We can have a conversation.
Rabbit's the delicacy.
Actually, can I roll a d20?
Please,
Yeah.
I'm gonna roll a
please do.
d20.
Roll a d20.
I don't like that face.
I don't like that face either, but especially because he's writing something down.
Right? He clicked the pin afterwards.
Okay.
The pin, like,
You look excited.
Heading along the trail, the faint smell of what seemed to
What's
be.
her name again?
So her name is Lady Louisa Seatonbury of the Marinsfort.
You got so close with your other Louisa.
What was that?
Because she was Louisa earlier.
Oh, it was Louisa earlier.
Were you really?
I was
That's
Louisa.
so funny.
I was Louisa Herringbone.
Oh my gosh, she's gonna read the ledger.
I
That's
didn't-
funny.
I didn't put my real name in the ledger.
None of you did.
None of us did, so she's not gonna be able to figure out who we were.
You all continue heading along the trail, and now there's a point in the day. You travel for quite a bit of time. Most of the remainder of the day is spent going forward, and there's a bit of a chill as you pass by one of these mountains that's got this snow cap up top. You know, towering high above you. You know that the mountains are miles wide. You can't really see everything when you're next to an individual one. A bit of a chill, and as you progress a little bit further into town, that chill kind of continues, and you do see this dirt path has been packed down, and perhaps even due to the recent snowfall, it somehow even reinforces a little bit. Like the chill has caused things to sort of compress in a way that has kept the road maintained. But as you proceed further, the chill itself getting a little bit worse. I think worse. I want to clarify, because you're at the base here and you're at the end of you're at the start of spring, end of winter. It's probably around 50 here. It's cool. It's not cold. The winter's finally slowing down. Nothing to the east of you. It seems snow covered at all. Small streams occasionally pass by, just a couple inches in width. Nothing that really matters. Just trickles of water running down, some of which descending into small holes in the ground, others running over the road itself. But as you round the bend, continuing with the road, you begin separating a little bit further from the mountains, still on the path you intended to go, when you see someone sitting on the road. There is on the side a human boy, probably around 15 or so, I would say. He is a short, ruddy little thing, blonde hair, and you see him kind of sitting on the side of the road on a little bump on the ground, a little grassy place, arms tucked over his knees. You can see he's got bare feet, and his hands and feet are caked in dirt and mud. Looks like he's been traveling, or maybe he's been in the in some of the nearby woods. Not the bulwark anymore at this point, but in just some of the nearby area here. He shivers just a little bit, and he kind of picks his head up as he sees you all coming. Hello? Are you guys stopping, or are you going to continue on
Yeah.
past?
Yeah.
Stop.
Where's your parents?
Oh. I got separated from my pa. Where are you all going?
Where was your paw heading?
We're heading to the city, down the road.
Carthholm.
Oh, I have to get back, and I don't know the way.
Where are you from?
I'm from Carthholm.
Okay. We can take you home.
Yeah, what part of Carthholm?
Oh, my pa's a hunter. We live just on the edge of town. It's close to the market.
Did you get separated this far out?
I don't know. We were off on a hunt, and he was trying to show me things, and there was some loud sound, and we started running, and I got scared, and I fell, and I lost my shoes.
Hey.
Okay,
hey,
okay,
hey,
yeah.
hey,
Okay.
Hey.
The waterworks.
First of all, let's get you cleaned up.
I'm gonna-
Prestidigitate.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Whoa, how'd you do that?
Magic.
Can you show me how to magic?
Maybe?
It took me like 11 years to cast that spell.
She's a
Oh,
slow learner,
I don't have
though.
that. I want to go home. I can't.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
Let's get
I'll
you
be
home.
old before that happens.
Old. How
So you
old
got
are
15.
He looks like he's about 15.
You got a few options. You can walk. You can hop on this horse right here for Tenebris.
You'd
And
let
I'll
me
walk
ride
you.
your horse, mister?
I'll let you ride while I walk with him. Yeah.
Oh, he kind of goes over on the side, and like you see, he kind of pulls out what was like tucked under his shirt. He's got this little like sky blue bandana. It looks nice. It's like it's a dyed piece of fabric, rather like finer dyes. And kind of, Mister, that's so nice. Here, and he kind of walks up to you, and like he's a 15-year-old. He's still about your height, but he's so much smaller and younger. And he goes over and just ties it on your arm. You're being nice to me, so like you're gonna let me ride your nice horse. You can have it's my favorite bandana.
Okay. Thank you.
So
How do you get on a horse? It's kind of big.
Here, I'll boost you up.
You gotta pick up the kid,
I'll just
help him up.
like do like a
Oh,
foot.
nice!
Cheerleading.
Yeah.
Come on, you said this is pretty cold, like 50 degrees.
Yeah.
Does it look like he's dressed for that? Like,
I mean, he's wearing commoner's clothes, but he's
Yeah.
missing his boots. It's 50. You can walk around. He's got pants. He just doesn't have his shoes.
Do you normally use a bow when you hunt with your dad?
Oh, Pa was teaching me, but I'm not very good yet.
Takes time. Takes a lot of time.
once again, she's a slow learner. Don't listen to her.
So all of you continue.
Yeah.
wanting
I'll
to
just
continue your way.
hold the reins and walk the horse.
Whoa! I've never seen a horse up so close. This is really cool.
You don't have.
You don't have horses where you're from?
Well, I mean, I've seen horses, but I've never been, like ridden a horse, or we're not supposed. We don't have my pa doesn't have a stable and a horse. They're really expensive. My pa could save up for a whole year and couldn't buy one of these.
What's your pa's name, by the way?
Well, it's not polite to talk about your pa using his name.
Is it not? Is that something common to your town?
Did you call your ma and pa by their names?
When
They died
people ask.
before.
Yeah. Oh jeez.
Oh no, is my pa? Do you think?
No. He means his parents in the past who
What?
he never met.
Where are
Are
your
not
shoes?
there. But he had a
I
lovely mom
I
that
took a
raised
nasty
him.
I took a nasty fall over in the woods, and one of them got stuck when I was falling halfway, and the other one got torn really bad. And I tried walking, but it was kind of flopping around my leg and made it hard to walk. And I didn't know if whatever made those sounds was still going to come out and get me. And
Gotcha.
Can you? Yeah, tell us the sound.
Can I make a check?
Yeah, I don't.
yeah, what kind of check you looking for?
I don't believe that this boy is actually a human boy who is.
We all trusted
No,
the child.
no,
Wow.
no.
immediately.
I don't like him.
Do
I
it.
whispered immediately when she walked in. I don't like this kid.
Yeah.
I think he's
Is he
evil.
like halfling size? Can I make a check?
That would be a medicine check, identifying a race of normal people.
No.
Not hard.
10.
This is a human child.
Can I make a different check?
Yeah.
How much blood do I smell on him?
Make a perception check with advantage.
He scraped his legs. It's like, does he smell bloody? Does he
Can
smell
any of us
weird?
detect magic?
I can't.
Perception check with advantage? 23.
Also a natural one, but good. 23? You smell no blood. You don't know. 23 though, like it's how regularly do you smell blood when someone scrapes? But you don't. What I will give you in addition is you don't see any scrapes really on him. Once he got prestidigitation up, he looks pretty normal.
Yeah.
I will say this with the 23, his feet aren't very red.
And he's been barefoot. Yeah. Hey, do you want us to bandage up your leg? You said you scraped your knee, fell down. Look, we've got so many supplies. It's the least we can do for a kid.
I got scrapes on my legs, and I feel kind of weird showing you guys my legs.
Oh, what if we hand you the
if
band-aid
we look
and
away?
yeah, turn away?
I love that you just.
What
that
if,
was
what if
very.
we turn away?
This feels kind of weird. You're all asking to see my legs. That's kind of.
I agree.
We just don't want you to get an infection.
It's pretty weird.
Look, you fell
Did
in
you?
the forest.
What did you introduce yourself as to this kid? Did you?
I didn't introduce myself.
Mister. I don't really want to show them my skin. That feels weird.
It is weird.
But your
You don't
skin's
have to.
already showing. Your boots are off.
I mean my legs.
Okay.
I fell.
Listen, I think we got up on the wrong foot. All we were saying is we didn't want you to get like.
I'm not hurt. And it's fine. I've been in scraps with the other boys in Carthholm.
Okay, all right.
How far
Right,
are we
right.
from Carthholm?
I don't know. Pa and I headed out yesterday in the morning, and we were tracking something for a while, and we made camp, and then when we got up this morning, and we kept going. We got separated after the sounds came around.
Is it just you and
Oh
your
gosh,
pod?
yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds.
Yeah, we.
There was It was weird. It didn't sound like I've heard of wolves. I heard wolves before, but this was more of like a. It was kind of like yelling, but you don't really want to. Where it's like a lot of air going through, but not a lot of belly to the sound. Does that make? I'm sorry. It didn't sound any sort of beastie I ever heard of.
You heard a sound like that before?
I heard it sound like that before.
Yeah. You heard a sound like that.
You can make one of the intelligence checks of your choice, but you have disadvantage. Because I'm not going to give you any hints.
Wait. Let him make it normal.
Him.
Yes.
No,
If
y'all, the people who were asking can make
Oh,
these checks.
I'll make a disadvantaged intelligence check.
Who are you giving this to Thorn? Sorry, Connor.
smarter person.
That's fine. I'll do disadvantage.
Okay.
Not too bad. Not good though.
So I can choose?
You choose which int skill you're using.
Okay. 24 Arcana.
Arcana.
Or I could do 21 Nature. 21 Nature.
What are you doing?
I'm gonna do 21 Nature check.
Okay, and what are you doing?
I guess it would be nature because I'm trying to recall
Yeah,
any of my past shit that happened.
Right. That's where
Right.
my brain's going.
Okay. As he keeps talking about this, it sounds like he's describing like a windstorm. Like he got spooked by the wind, and doesn't really sound like there was some bear or some beastie. You're not familiar with any like natural creature that would make a sound. And he's like,
I'm gonna pass the reins to Elle and just say, I can send my bird to go. If you can point the direction that he went, I can send my bird to go look for your dad.
I think it would have been that way, but oh gee, I'm really sorry. I'm not really sure.
Also-
I wasn't sure which way Carthholm was. I kind of got lost.
Does he really look scared? Like,
You make an insight check.
okay.
Can I?
We just do not trust each
No
other.
one trusts me.
I'm going to, I just like
It's
because
fine.
they're being so,
I'm assuming this is conversation is not happening all immediately because you'd be freaking out. This is like over the time where you're
Right,
traveling.
yeah.
because they're being so sketchy about it.
We're getting close to camping time.
I'll cast
8.
detect thoughts using subtle spell.
Okay. 8. He just looks like a scared little kid. You don't get a lot from him. He's definitely sweating, and you can definitely see he looks genuinely interested in seeing this horse, but nothing immediately jumps out.
Right. I'm gonna just send my bird on like a scouting.
What happens with detect thoughts immediately? It's surface thoughts.
Surface thoughts.
Come on, are we almost there?
Hey, while we're traveling and wasting time, why don't you tell us more about your home, the kids you played with, what you did for fun?
Yeah. I can tell you some of the fun stuff I did as a kid.
You first, though. We've talked enough about ourselves.
Oh, I mean, I play a lot with Jack and Andrew. They're some of the bigger boys from over in the. They got the big house. They got the fence. They got all painted up. But they really suck at stickball, and so sometimes we'll play for a couple of coppers.
She sucks at stickball too.
She's bad at motions.
Girls can't play stickball. Everybody knows that.
I'm just gonna let it slide for now.
I know
So-
better than to say.
Anything?
Come on,
Okay.
are we there yet?
I'll
Are you pushing?
I'll probe a little deeper.
I'm gonna keep chatting with the kid about his.
Yeah, his time.
Wait,
You want to give me disadvantage?
I'm giving you disadvantage.
Watch this be a normal kid.
That is a 5 now. It was originally a 16.
That would have passed.
Yeah, I did not.
That's
want it
funny.
to pass.
Okay.
Watch it just be.
What do you get by probing? Describe it to me.
I don't trust him.
Okay, initially learn surface thoughts. As an action, you can either shift your attention to another creature's thoughts or attempt to probe deeper into the creature's mind. If you probe deeper, the target must make a wisdom saving throw. Fails. You gain insight into its reasoning, if any, its emotional state, and something that looms large in its mind, such as something it worries over, loves, or hates.
As he's talking about this, you see for a moment these kids. You see him, but what you see is him noticing these kids, and these kids are dressed in dyed clothes. You can see that, like, you see a brief flash of them all a little bit younger, and one of them giving him this blue scarf that you're now wearing. And then they got a little bit older, them pushing him around, him going back home to this You see that they look like they're living in a very nice place, and him in a very rough and tumble kind of place. Okay. You see flashes of the stables that these former friends really have, and then you hear it. Come on, let's get to the town already. I need these suckers. I might even get to keep their horse.
Knew I didn't trust this little.
And you catch it in there, and you get to know intention. Is that what you said?
Yeah. So
I just have to tell you.
Yeah, you kind of have to tell us.
He put the bandana on you so he could call the guards and say you kidnapped him.
Gotcha. Okay.
Is he like an adult or is he an actual child?
This is a 15-year-old kid who's very poor, and his dad's a drunk, and he's conning people for money.
So
He's gonna rob. His intent. You do see he's clocked where each of your wallets are.
So, what was your name again?
Oh, my name's Felix.
Felix. Are you aware of like mercenary groups that work for Eltz? Have you heard of them?
Oh, sure. We get we get those every once in a while. I think we had a couple folks in town even recently. They came up and they were fighting some. There was some big bird bear thing, and they
Right.
apparently dealt with it.
And
You see that flashing in their mind, these people in like white outfits. They've got some of them that had nice swords. A mercenary band. You see a group of adventurers.
And you're aware that these mercenary bands are employed by people of high status and are trusted by these people.
I'm not sure what status means, but yeah, they got nobles and kings and wizards and things.
Nobles and wizards and
Okay.
things.
And
You guys
We're-
keep going. At this point, the sun is nearly set. You want to camp relatively soon.
we definitely want to help you. It just seems a little strange that you're out here all alone with no recollection of your father that you seem to go hunting with quite a bit. You don't know where you're at,
I'd like
and
to
you're
remind
not
you-
sure where you live.
You're sitting. This little boy is sitting on the horse in front of you. He's just hearing you tearing down his argument. And anyone who's like, maybe if someone's walking could see his face. He's going white.
You know, by the time I was 15, I was more than proficient in at least one weapon.
And also directions.
That's true.
Well, with the forest, it's hard to see which way the roads are. You can get turned around really quick, and so
I see
just
the
was-
road goes
I might
two
have-
directions.
Right. Well, I
You
did.
grew up here,
yeah.
right?
No, he's got a point. He's got a point.
I did. I do. I live in Carthholm. I just.
Where's the sunrise?
Why would I know where the sun rises?
It's
Yep.
the same place every day.
Liar.
No, guys, give him a break. He
No, we're in the
lost
middle.
shoes out
I
here.
haven't been here. I live in the village, and sometimes we go out. We just got lost and went further
Sunrise
from
is the
home.
same place every day. Doesn't matter if you're in your village or not.
Wait, the sun rises in the same place every day. What do you mean?
Kind of
Don't
inches.
those hunters know to use the moss on a tree to find the...
Shit. Yeah, of course. I'm sorry. I just misunderstood. You travelers do know a whole lot. I'm getting tired. All right, I could just grab this guy's coin purse and get into the woods. That fat one's probably really slow, and
In his
there's just a
head-
bunch of girls.
In
that
his
can't
head,
catch
it's
me.
like you'll hear just don't even try it. It's not worth it.
Make an intimidation check with advantage.
You just spoke in a child's head. Children gonna rob you.
I did
He
not
is
roll well.
15.
11.
Oh, okay, yeah, I beat it. Is that 8 plus 15? 13? Or 8
I know what you mean.
8 plus 5, sorry, 13.
The kid freezes. Can he respond?
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna try anything.
That's the look I go. I'm like,
Is this dark elf magic?
you like the horse, right?
I do.
Yeah, he's mine. You can't keep him.
I wasn't. I would. Are you talking? Are you talking at this point?
No.
Oh, I wasn't gonna keep your horse. I don't. How are you in my head? You a witch?
You intend to extort mercenaries.
Maybe I could find. Maybe should I go?
I think you should pick your targets a little more smartly.
I did get a little lost. I wasn't out hunting.
No shit.
Please don't turn me into the guards.
I can't prove anything. You haven't done anything wrong. I think you should take back your bandana.
Of course. All right, so I'll just take the money while they're sleeping.
Buddy.
I was just kidding.
Yeah. Okay.
Thorn's doing that thing again where you
You
look
just
off into
stare
the
at the
distance.
Thorn.
I love to imagine that you get a freaking weird face.
One day he'll be more subtle with it.
I'm not excited to see how that looked on the camera.
It's more like I'm just
Okay.
holding the reins and kind of just staring forward, and you just see the kid just
This kid
sweating.
is deflated. Can I just go sleep in the cart?
I don't think we can trust you anymore.
Oh. Okay. I think I should walk next to you, maybe.
I think that's a good idea.
Oh, all right. You watch as this kid is Thorn. You help Felix down.
That'll help him down.
Oh, you don't help him down.
He's a big enough boy.
That's a natural one. As this kid stumbles, it looks silly. He doesn't hurt himself, but he like tries to get off. He's like, I don't need any help, and like kind of tries to get into the stirrups where your feet already are, and like trips over himself a little bit. This blushing red kid who looks very nervous. I'm just gonna walk. Are you informing people telepathically what's going on, or nah?
When you tell me, I just want to let you know that Elle and I should take first watch.
Yeah, I'll let you guys know individually.
Yeah.
I think like
We should
Alright.
take first watch and
Yeah.
let him get his ass handed to him by a bunch of girls.
No, don't you feel bad for this kid at this point
No.
too? Though think about it. His dad's a dick. He's broke.
His dad.
know how to
I will
use
say this: your visions of his father is a man lying in his own sick, couple of empty bottles next to him.
yeah.
This guy is a drunk and a bum.
Right, but he shouldn't go try to rob heavily armed people.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to teach him a lesson essentially, but
Yeah, but if he tries to rob us,
Pick less armed targets.
right.
tell you what, I'll be generous this time. Not other people will be as generous as me. So
Well, you.
here's 5 silver.
Oh, why, sir, I've never seen this much coin in my whole life. Thank you so much. May the 9 bless your soul.
Go to hell.
You just hear, bitch.
Do y'all not feel kind of bad for the kid?
I do not
Just
feel.
because he
The longer
has
this
a
went on.
southern accent does not mean he doesn't have sympathy, Jacob.
Reminds me of myself as a child.
I
Were
know.
you robbing
I see your face.
mercenaries?
I was definitely doing what I shouldn't have been
He
doing.
would have been a fantasy setting, yes.
Yeah.
Eventually make your way further north, eventually settling down to camp if you'd like. If anyone has anything in particular they'd like to do during those watches.
I'm setting up internal to my brain alarms this time, so if this kid tries to sneak back to our cart, I know.
I'm so hyped about getting to like do some intensive exercise after just walking all like the last 2 days.
You've been
Like,
mostly sitting in a cart. You need to stretch those legs.
yeah, I'm like, I hope he robs us. Gosh.
During the first watch, because he's a kid, he's not taking watch. He doesn't.
We're on first watch.
Yeah.
Raunor.
No, Ralnor's staying with me, so he can eat everything in the
So he doesn't eat the child.
Right.
Now, here's the thing: the kid doesn't stir. He's been pretty scared straight by dear old Laurentius. But during the night, you hear this loud wind-like sound so briefly. Probably it's to the north, but it's more than 200 feet away by quite a bit. And you just hear the sound of wind briefly as it emerges and then fades back away. It sounded like the wind, but it was too isolated.
Are there?
This
We're
evening,
not- Yeah, we're not in the bulwark anymore.
you're far from the bulwark.
But are there any like folk tales or anything like cryptids?
This was something we've rolled for beforehand. Nothing you know about this place being haunted.
I'm gonna send my bird in the direction of the sound. I know it's nighttime and he's a raven, so he doesn't have great vision, but just like
Give me a perception check with disadvantage. It's very hard, this DC.
That is a natural 1 and a natural 20.
Bruh.
So
Is it too late to give her a bicycle?
we hear wind, but we don't feel any strong wind.
You don't feel wind where you are now.
That is so disappointing. That is a nat 1 and a nat 20.
Is it too late to give a bicycle and cancel?
You would be rolling a new die.
Oh, yeah.
That's how we do with bicycles. We always just add
Add
another
die.
die.
Especially after you already know the result.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or bicycle die.
So that would be like a 3 or something.
Well, technically, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
4.
You all continuing. So through the evening, you just hearing this. About the time toward the ends of your shift, hearing this wind sound fades away after just a few moments. Unfortunately, you're not able to find anything using your familiar. And as you can see very far off in the distance, though you can't see the mountains themselves, you do see just the beginning, just the crackling of lightning as the rain begins to fall as a thunderstorm happens this evening. The crackling. Well, ignore the sound for a second, but this crackling sound of thunder and the bright flashes of lightning maybe disturb someone's rest a little bit here. But as we head off into into the second shift, Silas, Thorn, anything particular you had to chat about this evening? Are you forcing the kid to be up for this watch or no? Oh, I got into the kid's country there for a second. Sorry.
No, I wouldn't. I'm gonna let you handle that. But in the meantime,
I don't give a shit about that kid.
this might be one of our only chances to get our hands on a certain Mr. Buck.
What are you planning?
There's a thunderstorm. She hasn't roused yet.
gonna get my
She
action.
won't rouse yet. That sounded weird. Come on.
What's your passive perception -5?
I like where you're at. I like where your head's at.
Good. It's a 6.
Cool.
This might be our only chance. The storm.
Do you know where she keeps it?
I know what to keep it.
I will let you know the mechanics if you'd like to do this. There will be 2 checks. Investigation and stealth. The stealth will be made with advantage because it is currently during a thunderstorm. In addition, you heard how low the passive perception of a sleeping target is. The investigation check, if neither of you make it, you are unable to locate it during your time in the watch.
Just do it.
-10?
-10.
Yours is 10 after? That's a good point, because you would also detect this because you two are sleeping relatively close to one another.
Because I have to be able to.
I think I have advantage on this one.
On the investigation check, each of you may make investigation rolls.
You first.
I don't want them to know my result, because I need to go over to Alilia. You've hidden Mr. Book. I will allow you to make one of... I will only make one of 2 checks. You can make me a stealth check as disadvantage. You're talking about hiding an object, but there's only a couple places you could hide it. Or a single int check to say you've kind of planned a good... where would everyone else... Or make it... I'm so sorry. You're going to make an insight check to kind of go, where would they not look? Or a stealth check with disadvantage.
Can I try and lower the
think it's
DC
okay.
for this?
Sleight of hand.
No, sleight of hand is more about dodging...
About actively.
With resources, can I try and lower the DC for this?
No.
I was gonna say, I know she stores a flower in it, and I can smell pretty well.
I don't store Amicure in it.
Have you
Have
never
you pressed
stored?
Amicure in the
I have pressed.
It has been
an
actual months since then.
Yeah.
So it doesn't smell like flowers.
But I keep multiple Amicures on me.
Yeah, you have 2 of them now.
Yeah. It's an 11.
11 is the investigation DC.
18 was my roll.
Where is the book?
The safest place. It's with its meanie.
Oh no! I'm going to be devastated. I wasn't expecting this.
You have your bag with you, close, pressed against you.
Put it in there every night.
This is
Do I know?
I don't know.
This is a stealth check. Who is doing it? Because only one person's going to be able to do this. It's with advantage. And I'm going to go ahead and say, I'm going to cancel out your advantage. Are you also going for one?
I'm looking. I can't.
used
I don't.
it
I
earlier.
used it.
That didn't roll well, so.
Did you beat 10? You have to. So you have. This is both players. You need to roll an 11 or better in total.
I rolled a 10.
It's a tie. It's a roll-off then. I'm going to roll out the following. You may make a perception check with disadvantage. You may make your stealth check flat. This is the PvP content we were looking for, guys.
8.
Oh, I got a 5.
So here's the thing. A couple things are going to happen.
You catch me like
I
mid.
rolled a 3.
He rolled a
There's
4.
a few things. First,
I don't know what you rolled.
you get to towards him. You get to his meeting successfully. As the alarm around the camp, the closer alarm, fine for everybody.
Yep.
If I can, I would like to narrate exactly what happens.
Oh,
I find the book. I get my hand on the book. All of a sudden, 2 eyes are staring at me. And I'm like,
what I was gonna say.
and then you hear someone in your head say, "If you don't say anything, I'll just walk away. If you don't say anything to Elle, I'll just walk away."
I won't say anything.
Betrayed.
You step away. Your fingers having touched the book. The book is really nice, though. It's actually a very nice journal. And you swear, even through without
Did I at least get-
without your dark vision, you would be able to see her eyes now.
Did it say anything on the cover? The little glimpse that I got.
Is it Mr. Book Jr.
Junior.
or the second?
Rubbed away. So it's an old book. Like it's clearly been there for a while. Like clearly like gold inlay that's been like rubbed out where you
Oh, I
can't
thought
read
the
it
name was
anymore
rubbed
is
away.
Elle's very special Mr. Book Jr.
Mr. Book Jr.
We know where it's hidden now. She won't say a thing. Another night will come.
We should never put them on a watch together. That's chaotic energy.
You suggested it.
I did.
I have Ralner and Elle's very special Mr. Book Jr. written down. Good job, everybody.
I assume in the morning I retrieve my book from your bag as normal. I'm like,
There's like grubby fingerprints on it that you
I don't have to say
recognize.
anything.
So are there? Okay.
I'm
No.
just kidding.
The book was not disturbed as far as you can tell. The boy is still here. Felix is quiet. Are we ready to go?
you didn't give me a chance to chase you down last night.
Yeah, you don't seem too ecstatic to get home and find out what happened to your dad. Weird.
It seems you already know what my pa's doing. He's gonna be about 3 bottles deep in Dunsmouth ale. If anything else, anything else is usual.
Some strong stuff too.
Yeah, the music does not match.
I know. Sorry, I can't really switch. I can't switch it and run.
I know.
How about we cut you a deal? I understand life didn't hand you the best option, so you beat her in a foot race. We'll call it even.
That's not very fair.
Hey,
He doesn't know that. You're
By the
just
way-
a girl.
you looking for work?
You told him to go to hell yesterday.
Sir, I'm kind of surprised to hear you ask that. It feels like that's not something you'd normally say. Are you serious? Maybe.
Maybe you can get
Still
away.
weird, right?
Maybe you can get away from your dad.
Well, I don't think he'd notice.
I don't think you would.
What'd you have in mind?
Are you adopting people this camp?
No. Go to Eltz. I'm sure you know where it's at.
I'd always take one of the boys' horses.
You can
Actually, that's
use that silver I gave you to maybe arrange some passage there as well.
Or that.
What's his? I always want to call him Vilbril. It's not Vilbril.
Brask.
Brask.
Brask of the Defiant Smiles.
See Brask.
Milton?
Defiant Smiles. Probably set you up some work.
Yeah. You're young, so
You adopted someone?
you adopted somebody.
No, everyone at this table tonight has done something to say go to the Smiles except you.
It's just a
I'm
suggestion.
not interested in
If
adopting
you want to get
people
out of
this
your
family.
current situation.
Big city.
Come on, your life is gonna be better.
Hey, I left home and look at me now.
You got some mud on your cheek.
Okay, I want to tell you right now. No, persuasion's not mind control. Natural 20 on my persuasion check. I could do that. It'd be easier with a little more coin.
You'll You'll make it when you get there.
If you don't give it to him, I'm going to. Look at this poor boy. He just wants to work.
Do I know how much a carriage would be from there to Eltz? Roughly?
Oh, securing passage. So if you wanted to get like a cart passage with a merchant, he could probably pay about 10. So it'd be like, probably pay about 3 gold pieces to tag along with a random merchant.
I'll give him 5.
Yo, you adopted somebody.
What if he just doesn't go?
Well,
He
yeah.
doesn't
No,
have
no,
to.
it's fine. This is character growth for Connor himself.
Okay,
Yeah.
heading off into our next day.
Connor, in your old age.
What's great is now some of my players have noticed this. I've put a battle map in front of me involving a city streets. You eventually head out of camp, heading along the road. The thunderstorm has gone away mostly at this point. No rain. The thunderstorm stopped relatively quickly. No rain after the storm stopped. It was pretty on off. But you continue heading off into up to the north, eventually making it to Carthholm. Jake, you look like you have a question before I continue, please.
Yeah, no, I'm just curious. Like, looking at the ground, does it kind of look the same as yesterday? Almost like these storms are pretty frequent, pretty often?
This is such an incredibly good question, Jake. I would like you to make me a nature or investigation check with advantage. These have been weird checks day. This has been
Right?
weird
Yeah,
checks day.
we have all done
He's
some
more
strange.
neat.
Also, you're most of the way there. I'd like to mention the last step is going to be going through the mountains after Carthholm.
What's that? 19.
19.
61.
As you make your way towards Carthholm, Jake, you notice something. Silas notices something very strange. This is investigation.
Mm-hmm.
You're heading up, and the road itself appears to be once again deteriorating in quality, which is a little odd. And you also notice the mountains themselves look different. They're a lighter brown than you expected with what you heard described. People actually, you've seen during your research, you actually saw a painting of this, and they were a darker brown here. But what you do notice is that it's like a tanner color, and the road itself starts having small pockets of sand in it, dipping in places. Like it doesn't look nearly as well maintained, eventually making it closer and closer to Carthholm, which still looks like a normal village and all. Occasionally, when there's a gust of wind, you get small bits of sand in the air. That's small. If you've ever been near someone with a lot of sand where wind picks up,
Yeah.
there's like a gritty, salty taste. It happens. You get a little sand in your mouth if you're near a beach with a lot of wind. That'll happen.
We're not near a coast.
You're nowhere near a coast,
I
and
hate sand.
it's coarse, it's rough, and it gets everywhere. There it is.
Feel
3
it.
bicycles for Victoria.
Oh my god.
No.
Oh,
No.
she wanted it.
Put your money where your
But-
mouth is.
But as you continue up with that, you notice this is weird that there's sand here, and doesn't seem like he doesn't seem weird about it. But as you continue along your way towards Carthholm, you do see. I'm just gonna go ahead and hold something. There are a couple people who are talking with some locals, some armed individuals wearing like tan clothes. There are mercenaries. There's another adventuring party that seems to be in town. Give a slight nod as you all are passing by. They don't seem concerned or anything.
Do I recognize their garb? No.
No,
Badges?
they do have a badge. I will just
Okay,
tell you
they
that.
do
for
have
sure.
badges, but we
they
don't
do have
recognize-
badges.
They're not.
But I'll even tell you, if you, with your passive perception, it's more than enough. Plus, all of you would just take over a look. They have a mercenary badge. Their particular, which are typically crossed weapons or a singular weapon. It is a trio of claw marks crossed over a sword.
That's not the Ashen League at all.
It is not at all the Ashen League.
Those are like the only ones we've ever investigated because of the rivalry.
Right. The Ashen League have a lot of gray in their color scheme. These guys have a bunch of tan, though some of them have a few splashes of like a vermilion red.
Do we need to come up
Felix.
with a?
We
With
have
like,
one.
like
it's,
it's
it's a smiley face.
no, I mean
A story.
like a team outfit, like,
Wow.
like a
No.
uniform.
I mean, you could all go with the cool leather sleeveless look. I'm
You
just
can see
thinking.
that 3 of the folks are wearing like
No, my arms are thin.
white,
skinny.
bigger coats over their armor that are matching this sort of creamish tan. And there's one, the leader there looks to be this woman, short, blonde, like strawberry blonde hair that is like trimmed and then shaved down on the sides. Large tower shield, and kind of is clearly leading them. The others are kind of matching. She doesn't seem to match them quite as much, but it looks like her armor is maybe magical.
Yeah. Felix, what's their story? Do you know them?
Oh, kind of looks over, and you just get a hinge of like his original plan was to throw you to these guys.
Chumps.
They were fighting. Yeah, they were fighting an owl bear in town a little while ago. They got paid to deal with it.
They stuck around.
I mean, it's only a couple days ago.
What's with the sand?
With what?
Why is there sand here?
I don't know. It's sand.
And this is a town. The road should be better here instead of worse.
Oh, I mean, I guess they're a little shoddy. There's just been some sand.
I think what she's trying
Been
to...
coming around since the big melts have started. We got a little more sand blowing in, but
Big what?
The melt.
The melt. The
you actually can see now. There's almost where you're at already. There's almost no ice, and looking further where you're headed, none. No ice is not what you expected here. You expected less ice.
If we can
Felix.
see any of the like streams that come with like melting ice, there's none.
Nothing visible from so far away.
Felix,
Like-
I've seen this scene in a book. It looked different. Last year, did that look like this? Pointing off to the lack of
You know,
ice.
I guess not. It was a little greener, and you normally can see there's a stream that sometimes will fill in through river. Maybe it was just a little bit less. Well, I mean, it froze normal. It maybe just went underground more. I don't really know. I don't think much about the mountains.
Ah, don't worry.
Getting out of here that way is, well, it's dangerous.
Now, do you mind me asking one more question, Felix?
I don't really think I have the option
it's-
not to answer.
You don't. Has it rained a bit more lately? You've lived here for a
A
while.
lot of thunderstorms, actually.
Is it
Yeah.
sandier?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what? I guess it's close to Dunsmith. There's been some storms there recently.
Oh, I haven't. Yeah, I mean, Dunsmith's not too far from here. It's a couple days east. I haven't been with my pa since I was a little boy, so.
Do you guys have a shepherd for your forest?
A what?
Like a druid type person, or a hunter, like someone that kind of.
My pa used to do a lot of hunting, but
So that's a no. Okay.
Is Carthholm? I think we.
Carthholm is small.
small.
So
like,
the town
smaller than
itself,
Walnut Hill,
looking around here, and I
Carter's
apologize for just giving the description because I plan on describing it and then going, cool, here's the deception. This quiet little village has homes. The doors of the homes here are coated in faded red paint. The familiar Eltzian sight of those red doors you've seen before. They've got thatched roofs, some of which need a bit of patching. But there's a cozy energy altogether of a small, tight-knit community. You see there are a few nicer houses here, but it's probably got a population of under 300 here. Remember that families are relatively large, so a lot of that's going to be children or communal families.
So it's sandy.
There's little bits of sand that are like pockets of sand in the road, which is weird, and there's sand that blows on the wind, which is weird.
Does
What
it seem like
direction is the
there's
wind
a-
coming from?
Yeah, I was like, what's the source of the sand?
I'm not even asking you to check. It's coming from the northwest.
Mountains.
Almost closer. It's northwest, so close in the direction you're exactly headed. Really taking a minute. If you guys are willing to like stop and
Yeah.
Yeah, this is rude.
this is coming from where you're going. This is coming in the direction of Taltrid's throne, which is the biggest mountain in the Murloc Mountains. It's the Red Rock is at the base of that mountain.
Nothing's normal.
Interesting.
Nothing's abnormal. It's go.
But there's always been sand as long as you can remember.
No, I mean, sure. There's like you could dig and find sand, or sometimes you'd find it at the bottom of the streams. But I guess no, there hasn't really been. The sand's kind of weird.
Okay.
It's very weird.
Listen, if this monastery we're going to has been turned into glass,
You're gonna go see the stone people?
Yeah.
I'm gonna be
I was
so
thinking
mad.
of maybe
What? Do you want to
digging
come with us?
excavation, probably. Has there been anything like that happening that you know of?
No, nothing happens in Carthholm.
No, I mean up north. Has there been any rumors?
No, I mean we haven't had anybody going through the trail. You guys are going into the mountains?
Yeah, absolutely.
Have there been any rumors about Dunsmith? When we were in Copperspec,
Bless you.
people were really surprised that there wasn't anyone coming and going from Dunsmith anymore.
We haven't. I mean,
Yeah.
I guess now that I think about it, there used to be this fella. I hadn't talked to him in a long time because we don't have a lot of money, and I'm not trying to trick you into giving me coin or anything, but there used to be this fella, a big, like bright purple coat would sometimes pass through. He had like a painted up wagon, big thing, like bigger, real tall. He'd get inside, and he had trinkets and candies and stuff. He would come from Dunsmouth.
Does that ring a bell?
Is he describing someone I might know?
He is describing a merchant who lived at the edge of town in his wagon, his beautiful painted wagon. You remember seeing this man? He had this longer beard that he would sometimes twist and actually dye. Every time you saw him, he would have dyed a different colored stripe down it. Normally, it was this dark black, and you would just add a splash of color. Big smile. You remember that there is one of his teeth had been always looked a little bit different. He'd actually lost a tooth at some point and carved. Because you've seen him carve him before. Carved a tooth out of a pearl and put it like into his mouth.
It's so inconvenient.
It seems kind of painful.
You can't bite with it.
No.
Pearls are too
Pearls
big.
are very soft.
But he sold lots of junk. But he was a traveling merchant who spent a lot of time in Dunsmouth, and he also, of course, stopped quite often at the bar you've been at. So
I
Do
cannot
remember
see
his
why.
name?
this is an interesting thing. Thinking about it. It's okay. It's okay.
She's mad. She's mad.
Thinking about it, you haven't really thought about the people of Dunsmouth in a while, and there's just this ever so slightly. Give me an intelligence check as you try to recall this particular person.
7.
Okay. DC's 5. It's not hard. His name was Talazad.
So, I can't explain why, but because of media that I have consumed in the last X number of amount of time, I do not trust traveling merchants. I can't give any spoilers to anything that I may have consumed. But I have a deep distrust for traveling
Talazad.
merchants.
I mean, technically, he lived on the outskirts of
Can't
town.
fathom what media you're.
I will mention this, with a 5, you don't actually know if he was human. You can't, like, place his ears. Maybe he was a half-elf, maybe he was a human, maybe he was a genasi and you didn't notice, but he certainly had sort of, he looked a little bit like Yosef when he has more of like an olive toned his skin, but he's certainly human-ish, so he's not like an orc or a dwarf. But I will say this, he tipped always, and he was very... when he ran into kids who were... He often gave more than he was paid for.
Being reminded of him and remembering the pinecone carving, do those two things correlate to me at all?
You have it on you? Mm-hmm. As you look at this, thinking back home, thinking back to what happened there, it didn't matter much to you at the time. You didn't think about the pine cone in this particular way. But you look at this human man beneath these tendrils in this pine cone carving. It's incredible that she carved out pockets of the middle of the material here. The clothing that this person is wearing, you have seen before. You look... I have to change something real quick. I'm so sorry.
Is the music?
I'm so sorry.
Right?
Yeah.
Look, I just asked about sand. I didn't mean to get here.
I'm glad you asked about sand.
Where there's sand, there's trouble.
Where there's sand.
No, it's not. It's the beach. We just had a beach
Laurentius,
episode.
you think... Oh, I'm so proud. I'll just go ahead and let you know. First of all, this. Yeah. Second of all, you think to what this person was wearing, and it wasn't an out... Like, the small... Almost like a doll, I would think that's a fair comparison. The small carved doll you have here, you realize why it's so familiar. The man here has, over his shoulders, there's a small purple, maybe a scarf or a sash or some sort of purple is on top. Now, this is a carving, it's very simple, but you have seen this once before. Other than the regular commoner's clothes that many folks would wear there. On the evening of what happened at Dunsmith, when you called out to your father, he wore this simple purple dyed bit of cloth. The same manner of cloth that was often dyed and sold by Talazad. This man who you're talking about here likely saw your father that day and gave this to him, or sold it to him. Maybe your dad stole it, but your dad interacted with him had to have been an hour or two before what happened that day, when you were working the bar and your father was out.
To understand it, it was Talazad's clothing piece?
So Talazad sells little toys, he sells candies, he sells dyed fabrics.
Okay,
It's
so
almost certainly the case that blue scarf from before was from this person.
Right, but then it wasn't something like, it wasn't like Talazad's scarf was given to his dad. It was
No.
like something
It wasn't like,
cloth.
have this.
was it like a personal piece of clothing?
Talazad wore a coat of the same color, same dye. Often wore this. It's this purple. It's not perfect though. It's got like the same as the thing from before. It has like splotchy white. Think of almost how tie-dye shifts in and out of color. But it looks intentional. It's slightly patterned, this sort of thing. But Talazad has not been seen here since what you know to have happened.
I need a drink.
Yeah.
I'm just surprised. No one said anything about the sand, the people from the merchant not coming.
She is obsessed with sand.
I mean, it's just like gritty dirt. I haven't.
Hey, while she's asking you about sand, do you mind doing me a favor and I can make it worth your while?
Y'all are asking an awful lot of favors.
No, this one you can get paid for.
They're not real favors.
The Stonemen. Do you happen to know the name of one of them?
Oh no. I've never been in the mountains.
Oh well. It's worth a shot.
I don't think they really eat people. But
Oh, no, they
just in case, keep that beaten stick handy.
It's fair.
Reasonable.
It's fair. Yeah, did you
Supposedly, they're like 20 feet tall.
have you ever seen someone in town head out that direction? Maybe interact with them?
No. Why would anyone want to go into the mountains?
You got a point.
I mean, when my dad used to hunt, when my pa used to hunt, he didn't really even go up there. There's not a lot of stuff that you can get goats, I think, on the mountains, but nothing. It's so much easier to go and hunt a buck.
No, you're right.
In some places, people climb mountains purely to climb them.
Well, in some places I hear they have people who dig underneath them, but not here.
Well, thank you for being honest regardless. I slipped him another gold piece.
You have another gold piece?
Yeah.
It's 6 gold?
How much did you say he needs to buy a carriage there to Eltz?
It's gonna be like 3.
I'm gonna give him 5. I want you to know every time I've given a number of gold, it's to keep the number at 5 or 0.
Nice.
That gold is just burning a hole in your pocket every
It
time
really
you have
is.
it.
I don't.
I can't.
What do I do with this?
Are you just getting in his brain randomly here or no?
No, I'm not fucking with him anymore.
You
I
see, he
wanna know.
gets a nice big blush on his face. Thank you. I appreciate it.
If you steal again, the Eltzian guards will know.
Oh
Yes, sir.
no, he hears that in his head. Just kidding.
I'm concerned by the mercenaries who hunted an owl bearer. How many days ago did you say it was?
A few.
3?
It was a little bit before I.
Where we met.
Before you
Have
left.
Have you made it clear that they know what's going on? Like,
Yeah.
everyone is- I
Before we met. It's okay.
before I was. Yeah.
Before
Led
you
from
did
the path
something
of righteousness.
incredibly, or try to do something incredibly stupid,
Right. I mean,
and learned
again-
your lesson, right?
Yeah, again,
I would have got away with it if you weren't for your meddling witch friend
Do you
here.
think your friends
And
over there would
our
stop us?
little lizard too.
They killed an owl bear.
Okay.
Okay.
What context would he have?
No, he's got a point.
Why? We can just go say hi. We're fellow adventurers in town.
yeah, I just don't trust him.
Can
Let's go.
I?
Go home.
I
And he
gotta.
had a magic weapon.
I gotta make sure he's not dead and is sick before I
Yeah.
get out of here.
Go do your thing.
Do your thing.
Should I leave a note?
No, don't
If-
leave a note. It's a horrible habit that you never
If-
should get.
If it will make
I didn't leave a note when I ran away from home. I don't
Helps
know
your
what you're talking
conscience.
This is the first moment of like full serious.
if it will make you feel at peace, leave a note. if you want to get out anything that you want to say for the last time that you see him for now, you can always come back.
I think I'll.
If there's anything that you need to say, you should leave a note for you, not for him.
I think I'll tell him if he wants to come see me, he should walk, which means he'll have to be a little bit more sober.
That means that he gets to make the choice, whether to follow you or.
Well, let's see if he can still read.
That's true. Hey, don't give yourself a reason to come back unless you're sure you want one.
With that, Felix kind of gives a little polite.
What?
I am sorry.
Yeah, it happens. You're the best kind of bandit.
Yeah. Learn from your mistakes.
You think I could be a good bandit? No.
Learn to
With
use
that,
a weapon.
No, I
first.
think we've established you're a terrible bandit.
with
Next
that,
time, put more
Yeah,
dirt.
unsuccessful bandit.
he kind of he's a little smile to you, Silas, and looks a little polite bow over to Thorn and runs away.
Sweet
This
boy.
kid does not know that he could get his ass handed to him by any one of us.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. He could probably take Eltz. She's just a girl.
It's like that scene
can
from
fight.
The Dark Knight where the one
We
Like,
guy.
did
right now.
before we left, and I think
I
you
know, we can
lost.
fight again. We can keep going.
All right. You've got a little bit. If you'd like to spend any time in Carthholm, you absolutely can.
I want to talk to the weirdos.
You want to talk to the other
Yeah.
mercenary party?
Do you give
I
any
don't want to
indication
show
you
it.
started knowing something about a merchant to any of us, or you keep that to yourself?
He probably would have mentioned the merchant after it was told to everyone, and I would have taken out the pine cone carving and kind of went,
This is a Jake answer.
You still have that.
Do
I'll just
you
put it
know
away.
who the carving is? You don't have to answer this. Do you know who's in the carving?
I think I have an idea.
Okay, because clearly mine has been answered.
Is it too soon to give
Oh
this
yeah,
back?
this is round one.
Holding the Vulpix.
No, we don't need to pull it out right now. Jeez.
No, yeah, no. But like,
Sure, you can, like-
to give it back.
Point at the bag. You know what's in it. That's fine.
I still think.
Do we need to go after somebody else?
I don't know.
Will you regret giving this back?
Oh,
Excuse me?
I apologize. I didn't mean to interrupt. I saw your badges and I just wanted to come over and greet you. How are you all doing today?
Doing great. Doing great. We're with the Defiant Smiles. Who are you with?
I'm Alira with the Warriors of the Gale.
Warriors of the
You're with
Gale.
Warriors of the Gale.
A fellow L.
Uh,
L.
She shakes her hands. It'd actually be an owl, but what Al and L could. She kind of looks. She's a little bit of a. There's a little blush. She has again the side of. She got her the hair itself. Let me go ahead and hand you her.
Did you just make her blush?
This is a fully armored knight, and she's got sort of this kind of pulled out, like a. What do I call this? It's not a bowl cut.
She's got a bowl.
It's a little cute.
She's got a bowl.
It's a bowl cut that's a little cute.
Is it
I
an
think she
overgrown
has a
pixie?
bob.
Is it an overgrown
This
pixie?
is like a Princess Diana cut, is what she has.
It's Princess Diana several inches higher.
Yeah.
But as she's got, you can see she's got full armor here. Is everything all right? I don't mean to pry, and of course your business is your business. But when we see other mercenaries, we do check. I was not aware of any other open contracts in Carthholm.
No, we're just passing.
We're
through.
traveling.
We heard you. I'm sorry, I don't know if I caught the name of your mercenary guild, but we heard that you slew an owl bear.
Warriors of the Gale.
Oh yes,
Warriors of the Guild.
they're checking
There you
in
go.
with the local alderman to confirm this, and we'll be the reward. Of course, we will have to wait until we return back to Eltz to meet with
Naturally.
Whitaker. But we'll be.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I thought you were mad at me for a moment.
Whitaker and gale like a storm,
Yeah, we've
like wind.
No, weren't you scared? Owl bears are pretty frightening.
It was difficult, but I brought 3 other mercenaries with me, and in addition, we had a couple of members of the local guard actually provided some support with their bows.
I know this may not be polite society conversation, but we're a relatively small guild. This is all but one of our members here.
There are just under 10 of us.
Okay, so we're
We operate in the we operate just south of. She looks a little embarrassed. We're close to the Twilight District, but we're not involved in.
Oh, we've spent plenty of time there.
we're right outside. What are we right outside of?
You're in the Barrows.
We're in the Barrows.
Oh,
So,
Well, the Tincto is a nice view.
Yeah, a lot
Oh, we go
of, lot of
fishing
foot
there
traffic.
often.
Get a lot of work.
for some reason, there's a lot going on in the Tincto Bay when it comes to Queros.
I have no idea what a Quero is.
Think of like a large leather rug that can eat you.
And when
It drowns
really
you.
like
More
That sounds dreadful.
It was wonderful.
they're fun to wrestle. Wrestle even.
Well, I don't mean to take any of your time. I saw you pass through. Just passing through. I do have a healer here if any of you require assistance.
We're actually doing
no,
pretty
we're-
good. Our travels have been really easy.
They've. I'm sure you've heard, but the king has increased the amount of patrols as of late. His flying personal guard has actually mostly left the capital and has been just patrolling the kingdom. There's been some worries, but
That nasty business that we heard about at the speech.
Attempted Kingslayer, disgusting.
Yeah.
well, I believe that Eltz is well defended, and well, she looks at you and just kind of smiles. They also have us as backup.
Exactly.
That's true.
No one can defeat our king.
Weird question.
Emperor.
Have you been here before?
Hmm.
It's your 1st time out this far.
I've been here a few times, though I believe it's the first for most of my men.
It's oddly sandy.
We're pretty far from the coast.
We're
I
pretty
suppose
far
must be from a riverbed. There has been some bad storms. Maybe that's pulled something up.
Since you've been here, have there been storms every day? The weather patterns are very strange to me. I can hear her yelling.
We've been here. We've been here for a couple of days, and there's been quite a bit of thunderstorms. I think the first day that I was here, there wasn't anything, but the ground was not the ground, excuse me, but it was still. It seemed that it had recently rained. Welcome back, Jazz.
Did you hear her?
Finally! A little scream.
Okay. I know she's beautiful. Yeah. Say hello, Jazz.
Cat.
She's very, very pretty. Oh, okay. Very shy. But she kind of explains. I believe I heard someone talking that it stormed the day before we arrived, but most of the days I've been here, my gosh, you want it up, but you also don't.
I haven't been this far south for very long, so I'm not familiar with the weather patterns whenever it changes into spring.
That explains. I apologize. I
Yeah.
noticed your accent and I could not place it.
I'm from Missile.
Oh, well, welcome to the kingdom. It is nice to see that you're working alongside us.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I have a
mean,
question.
she's so cute.
right.
This is adorable. So like everyone we've asked about the stand has been like, I've never thought about it like once or twice. Is it that we're being kind of crazy? Or
We're
You're not
being
crazy.
a little
I want
crazy.
to clear. It could also be that I was overselling something. So the biggest thing is that I pointed to Silas rolled in crazy roll and noticed that basically the mountains are a shift in tone off. The big thing is this: even if you live here for a while, it's kind of a light brown versus a darker brown. But you just saw a painting of this, and it was a good painting where you think it would have been.
Accurate.
Yes, it would have been accurate. And so it was a strange difference. Also, you were traveling on the road where the packed dirt seems to now have a bunch of there's sand that's loose and that's just blowing away and causing holes.
Yeah.
In the town, it's not as obvious,
Okay.
but around the town is quite obvious.
the
Can
change
I
might
ask
have
a
happened
question?
over time
Yeah.
as well.
It also, well, you will. I'll say this. This is something that, as you talked with Felix, you learned it wasn't like this last year. I didn't
Yeah.
notice the sand.
Well, hopefully, whenever we're in Eltz again, we can go out and get tea. It'd be lovely.
It's always nice to collaborate with other guilds.
Do you ever go
No.
to Duelist?
Oh.
I'm not familiar with the duelist.
Daring Duelist.
Daring duelist. Is that some sort of guild that I'm not familiar?
It's a bar, but they also have fights there. Some very cool people.
You can duel
It's a cage fighting bar.
Sort
There's no
of.
cage, you just knock someone off the table, but yes.
Oh my! Well,
We
that
just.
sounds absolutely delightful.
Oh, it was. We
You wanna
just saw
duel?
the Mad
Are
Mages
you
lose.
the dueling type?
She didn't hear me.
Well, when I used to squire, we did quite a bit of sparring. I don't have quite as much formal dueling. I'm not. It's been a while since I've carried an épée, but
I don't think you. Oh, it's not that kind of duel.
Oh, it's not that kind of dueling.
you kind of explain it. She generally just seems kind of hyped about. Sure,
Fights are fun.
I sell my sword arm for money because it's fun and I get to help people. this one sounds fun, and I get to buy more drinks. That
Well, if you ever go to the duelist, put your name down for a match against the Mad Mages.
She just
Should've-
lost. You have a good chance.
I did just lose for the first time, so more coin to be
Well,
made.
may the Platinum Dragon bless your future bouts.
Hey, before you go, my memory's not the best, Loxodons. It seems like it's raining more this year than ever. If you heard any spots around here, not just Dunsmith, other
We had-
places with storms.
Last fall was quite rainy, but over the winter was pretty normal. I'll be honest, I don't pay much attention to the weather. There hasn't been anything too out of the ordinary.
Oh, no, you're fine.
Yeah.
We've got crops back home, I'm just worried.
Maybe I would have to go and I would probably go speak with someone who actually studies this.
Like a shepherd or something, yeah.
Yeah.
But I know you're worried about your family crops.
Good luck. The shepherd
yeah.
here's a drunk.
Ugh,
They
I feel
do
like that's
have
half
a
the
shepherd.
city.
Yeah, it's Felix's dad.
Yes. Yeah.
Connor,
Duh.
Connor's been rolling mad insight IRL today.
Yeah.
You're doing great.
Yeah, we had a shepherd, but we don't anymore.
Oh, I know.
Oh.
This is in
No,
character.
yeah, all of you are doing great.
No, I know. I was just like,
Sorry, let me defend my honor real quick about putting 2 and 2 together.
I got 5.
I just clulled.
Come on, man.
You
Those
break
the
a
ones that I
G2.
bought for you.
This is
Broke
why
a
I
G2.
bring more pencils.
How did you break a G2? They're like the sturdiest
They're meant to be
pins.
broken. I can tell.
I had it hooked in here, and I
Oh,
forgot it.
That would
I
hurt.
Popped it.
I have done that many.
But we tried to get a bit of information. He was supposed to be a good hunter in the past, but the man's a layabout, and, well, I've seen a lot of empty bottles.
What do you think changes a man like that? He said he was a good hunter in the past.
My best guess, of course, is, well, it is not right to render judgment frivolously, but with what I have investigated, I think it was a woman.
It's always the women.
Now, this would still be his fault, of course, but I believe he blames a woman for what he's become.
As
Explains
Illyria's
his own
talking,
sexism.
is her accent like Eltzian? Like she mentioned being a
She's got
squire.
a fine.
Clearly, like-
She's this is a woman who's probably a noble of some sort.
Yeah. But is it like Eltzian?
Yes.
Cool.
You've met people who sound like her.
Yeah,
The
no,
Lionheart when he's not being all crazy.
Oh my god.
Sorry.
Well,
I will unmask that man.
I'm starting to think we might have taken up too much of your time.
Oh, we were just going to spend some time. We fought 2 days ago. We had the battle with the owl bear, and so we're taking some time to rest. One of my men hurt his leg a little bit. Our cleric has closed his wounds, but taking a bit of rest after a fight.
Yeah.
Lyrics.
We're in no rush to get back home.
Would I, as Silas, know if we could easily take a owlbear?
That would be a nature check. I know owlbears are not technically beasts, but they are common enough in the wilderness for me to find.
4.
You've heard of owlbears? They're really strong. They're stronger than a normal bear. But Jake, it's kind of I'm not low roll. This means I won't give you anything special. But could you fight a really strong bear? You think?
Yeah.
It's an owlbear. They're tough.
We just fought
Worst
a
case scenario?
necromancer and a greater. Okay.
Oh, my comment is
my
worst
gosh.
case scenario, we could kick their ass. I didn't say that aloud.
That's fine. Well, I'm gonna get back to my men. We're going to have a bit to eat. I hope your travels are safe, and well, we'll see you back in Eltz.
Hey, hope to see you around.
She gives a deep bow. You watch as she bows. The 2 small earrings she has that were kind of obscured partially by the neck guard on her metal armor dangle just a little bit forward, and you see a pair of golden earrings. There's a tiny blue shield sigil with what looks to be like a silver dragon emblem on it. You would recognize this. This is incredibly low. This is the holy symbol of Bahamut,
You're
the
right.
platinum dragon.
You're right.
Right.
You're right.
Yeah.
Right.
You're right.
Bahamut's blessing. See you at the duelist.
Yeah.
I have no idea what he's right about.
Oh,
No
Oh,
idea
no.
what he's referencing.
she's a paladin.
Oh,
Yeah.
probably. She's a paladin, or she's a cleric, or she's a knight who serves this
Or like
person.
a-
Because she's referring to someone else for healing.
Right.
Lofty Knight.
Right. But if somebody gets really injured, you probably want a cleric.
Theoretically.
She bows her head and heads off. Is there anything else you'd like to do here in Carthholm? Carthholm, again, this is much smaller than Walnut Hill. It's about a little bit smaller than Walnut Hill, way smaller than Coppersback.
How late in the day is it?
It's relatively early. You took a camp a couple hours out of town, several hours out of town. You guys have the day's travel still.
Is there any reason we would want to stay?
Nope,
think the
and you're
locals-
behind on itinerary.
I don't think the locals know anything about the stand stuff. I
Right,
think we're
we're
gonna
just
find our
gonna go
answers
in.
somewhere else.
Yeah, I think we got caught up on
Yeah,
something.
okay, let's keep going then.
I think the only thing is like, what are we like 2 days away from returning the Vulpine?
Probably. That's pretty good. If you travel at a fast pace, you booked it, you could get it there tomorrow.
Can I make a retroactive ask? The sound we heard last night camping, was it all from the same direction, northwest?
The
No.
sound was moving.
Okay.
It wasn't perfect. It was roughly northwest,
Cool.
but it was sounded like something that was moving.
Cool.
That part of his story was true in that he did encounter the weird howling noise.
Cool. I was just wondering if we're going to hear it again.
Hi,
tonight.
Coco.
So last chance, use the Vulpine. Still tempting.
I'll do it again.
Don't,
No.
please don't. It's a mild inconvenience at worst.
So,
No.
oh, I almost said the wrong word. Smiles. Are you staying here in Carthholm or continuing along?
I saw that G.
Part of me feels like we need to go talk to the shepherd, but I think we should go.
The drunk shepherd?
Something hurt his heart.
It's kind of.
We're not therapists.
I don't know
True.
much about the
Yeah,
shepherd, but it does seem
We
weird.
could be clerics of the heart.
Yeah,
Not
well,
gonna
maybe you should read
They're
his
not
son's
paladins.
note.
What?
Maybe that'll sober him up.
Yeah.
Losing your child, that's probably
I
gonna hurt.
think that probably if we're not going to use the Velvet Vulpine, if we're going to use a statuette, we should probably just move on.
Mhm.
I can't think of anything we need to do right now while we're in town.
I don't
No.
think we would even want to use it in town either.
Right.
no,
We
no.
obviously
No, no,
wouldn't
no.
use it inside
Yeah.
of the town.
I mean,
But like with our
honestly,
remainder of our day.
I can think of only one of us that legitimately wants to do it. So
Right.
unless Thorn asks for it, I'm not gonna.
I have two names I would ask, and I don't know if I just need the first name. I probably need a second one.
I mean, you can try. Like, there's no harm.
I
in
will also
trying.
We
remind
might
you
read
what it does. It sprints until it gets to its location.
We might not follow it for 100 miles.
That's a quick. I will let you know. You all are aware.
That's a good point.
If it works, now you don't know if there's a duration there, but there is a possibility. Like in the realm of possibility, is it runs hundreds of miles. You don't know its limits.
The last time it waited for us.
It did wait for you.
So it's not like it sprints off and we never see it again.
Was
Right.
it corporeal when we did it last
Yes.
time?
Yes.
So
Now
could
you can
tie
see
a-
it turns into like more light, like more bluish and
Yeah.
glowing, but you could interact with it.
Or tie a leash to it. Maybe.
Maybe
And use it like a sounding
it's a
rod.
weird magical item. You're not certain.
So these people that were delivering it to, I'm sure they use it for something. Maybe they specialize in that kind of magic of locating people.
Right. And if we take it to them, maybe we could find out more information.
Right.
Or because we brought it back, maybe we could come back and borrow it sometime.
Yeah.
Definitely convince them that we did not steal it.
Thing.
And then
use it.
I'd like to remind you, just a quick reminder, the premise of this initial mission. The Lionheart told you that he heard about it from the people there who were familiar with the Lionheart, who asked for his help.
Right.
We gotta
So
do
we
the
will
right
say
thing.
we're returning it on his behalf. They won't like be like, "Where did you find it?"
Right.
We'll just
Possible
he's
Oh.
already-
If he has the access to this, it's possible the Lionheart already told them you were coming.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's get it back to them.
Okay.
Let's do the right
We have other
thing.
means of finding
In
people.
that case,
Maybe they'll tell us who the Lionheart is.
you all begin turning and heading north into the Murloc Mountains, where you will find more sand, strange thunderstorms, and air elementals roaming the land. We'll see you at our next session next Friday. With No Footnotes this weekend.
No footnotes
No Footnotes this weekend. We'll be seeing you next Friday, same time, 7 o'clock Central. This has been Stories to D4. We really appreciate you coming and joining us at the table. Thank you so much, wonderful players. I really loved having you here tonight.
No one died. I'm sad.
Nobody died.
If we die during the travel episodes,
Look, I do not
mean-
put
It's
a
not-
put it past us.
You skipped 2 different combat encounters in a good way.
I mean, we've traveled in the past, and it's been pretty
rough.
Pretty rough.
Oh,
We have teleported
maybe next time on
through the
Footnotes we'll
ocean.
talk about Coombe Toll.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
All right. With that, good night, everyone. It's been a blast having you, and stay safe.
Have a nice
Bye.
night.
Bye,
Hey,
y'all.
guys.